sister. Ever since I met her, like, she was always my sister, but she was from Lebanese, or she was Lebanese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was adopted, but she she's she is from Lebanon.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's there's a lot of history in that area. I mean, I think what Buddha was saying too, it's like people used to justify slavery with Christianity, or not Christian, well, with religion in general. That they just think it's like, oh, this is fine because these people are not real people or whatever. I think that.
Oh no, go on.
Oh yeah,
you look at me as not a real person, and I breathe like you. I eat. I have to eat. If I don't eat, things will happen to me. If I don't get enough rest, just like you, So how can you not say like we're 1/3 human?
Right.
That blows my mind. We are 99.9% the same DNA, and skin color is no different than hair color, eye color. It's literally just more melanin. But were you in the live where I described how I describe racism? Mm-mm. So keep in mind, I mean, I'm mostly Italian, so I'm a white man. So this is just a white man's perspective, observing other white people and how they behave. Because sometimes, in my opinion, for what I've seen growing up in the Northeast, the most racist people were the ones that were always going to the beach and trying to get dark in the summer. So I really think that it's just melanin envy.
Yep.
I really do. I think it's melanin envy. I think racism boils down to melanin envy. They're jealous because everybody, think about it. We're in 2023. A lot of people are finally recognizing that melanated skin is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I think melanated skin is beautiful. I mean, I'm an equal opportunity dater. I don't care I honestly don't care how tall you are. I don't care what color your skin, hair, eye is. I don't care. Like, your personality is going to matter to me more than anything. But I do think that, I find beauty in a lot of things, and I do think melanated skin is beautiful. I think most people do, and I think they're jealous, and I think that's why they got issues. So Haley Beans, I don't know who Haley Beans is. Does anybody know Haley Beans?
I do not.
So Haley, I'll allow you up, but this is a live where everybody has to be respectable. The moment you're not is the moment you get booted. I don't know you, so I don't know if you would be or not. Hello. Oh, very nice. Okay.
See, okay. All right.
So
Goodbye.
How do you even have that many? Yeah, they're getting blocked. Gosh,
now,
that's a
I didn't know we were in middle
person.
school.
Yeah, that is a grown-ass person coming in here and doing that.
You're blocked. I mean, you're muted, Buddha.
They got... Oh, Buddha, did I mute you by accident? Can you believe that? Like, what?
Sorry, that honestly kind of made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what is going on? Is TikTok
you gotta think about it.
Like, weird.
That person had over 1,000 followers, and they are a grown-ass person coming in here doing that. Like, and why? Because I don't understand it. Join and state my opinion.
And they...
Is that Haley? Yeah, I'm going to take a screenshot of this person's.
I did too, so I can go back and block them.
Yeah, and this, may I come in here, just join and state my opinion.
What an opinion.
That's wow. Shows the intelligence. I mean,
like, a lot of, what are you, I don't even want to bring them up, but like the llamas or whatever the hell, that cult, whatever. A lot of these people are bigots. Like, they don't even really care. They just like want to just like, how do I describe it? Like, with the whole thing with, gingivitis guy, you don't.
I do. Gingivitis, yes, I know who you're talking about.
His little posse, right? A lot of them are in the LGBT community, and that is just really disheartening to me. I hate that. I really don't like a lot of them, and it's disappointing. There's a lot of people that I followed who supported him. I was like, whoa, like, you really support this guy? I thought you were different. Like, I've had to block like many people. I was like,
yeah. I can't even begin to tell you, Squidward. You know what's upsetting me about that
Yeah.
is that people keep referring to the community, the community, the community. And I'm like, you guys don't realize when you're sitting there saying the community, the LGBTQ, the rainbow community, you're stereotyping our entire community based off of a handful of idiots that are on here and supporting a big idiot that's supposedly the representation for our community, without even realizing that a lot of us reject that ideology and that group and those people, that a lot of us don't even like. I don't even like that they're somehow some kind of representation for our community, because they're causing harm to it. And they got these fake allies that are also causing harm to our community, and they're giving those fake allies bigger voices than they give people from the actual community.
I know, it's so frustrating. I'm like, what is going on?
They literally, the one that's been stalking us literally made a video of my friend who was taken out of this world by an officer for being gay. They made a video of him singing next to the officer that took him out of this world. And they're on a live last night crying about me.
Oh
right?
my God.
Right? But she seeks me out purposely. She comes to my live. She stalks me all the time. She makes up stories about my friend that was taken out of this world. She makes videos like that, and she's online crying last night like she's the victim. And she put a black man in jail with nothing more than her appearing well in court. And she's very light skinned, and I'm sorry, like I've looked at the case. I'm not going to bring up her name or anything, but I've looked at this case. I believe 99.9, especially because of how she behaves and how she labels everybody as a predator who basically calls her out on her actions. I fully believe that she wrongfully had this man arrested because of the details of the case, because of certain things like medically that were like, I'm sorry, you look up what the survival chances are of anybody jumping out of a second story window and landing on their feet without injury. And then you read a report where somebody only had a red wrist and a sore back, and it's not consistent with any other research you do on what would happen to somebody that did that. And you start to realize, like, yeah, this is just the system working against another person of color. And she totally pulled a Carolyn Bryant.
Yep. And unfortunately,
what they did to me, that person who abused his child. Well, last May, actually on Mother's Day, I tried to unalive myself.
Oh my
But
God.
I went to the hospital, I got treatment, I took an overdose. And I have a traumatic brain injury. I served 24 years in the military. I got injured while serving, and I had PTSD. So I struggle, with chemical imbalances due to my brain injury, and I had a stroke. And so that person found my mugshot and posted it. And he did that because he thought it would make me unalive myself. He wanted me to unalive myself. And the people in the comment section was agreeing with him. They all wanted me to unalive myself.
Oh my God.
Now, a few months later, this is just like a month or so ago.
I'm so glad you're here with us still.
Happened to him. Oh my God, poor him. But y'all just want me to do it to myself.
Yep.
See what I mean? But I'm so glad you're still here. And yeah, we do love you. Like and they just trying to do that. It happened with a relationship I had with my husband. I caught him with this woman, and she lied on me, had me arrested, and my charges got dropped, basically. But they used that mugshot, and they were laughing at me, calling me ugly, and saying how horrible I looked, because that's what a suicide person looked like. Yeah.
The day when I got home after I got processed, I came straight home and took an overdose, and then wake up for 5 days.
Wow.
They were taking me off of it.
I'm really sorry because honestly, been there, done that, was just committed like 3 months ago. I totally understand where you come from, that pain and just wanting to give up. And the fact that people like him thrive off of people's pain.
Yep.
And just go after people. Like, it is just, I'm not surprised if someone really did unalive them.
There are people that have. That's part of the reason why I started speaking up again. And listen, like I said earlier, I'm about as left as you can be, but I saw them do that to somebody who was conservative, and she was still a mom and still a wife, and she took herself out of this world. And from what I understand, she did a lot of good for a lot of people. I didn't know her, but they're actually trying to get a bill passed, Mel's bill. And some of the people that harassed her, and the reason I even found her group was in part because they're the same people that have harassed all of us from the same group, I should say. Yeah, so this group harasses a lot of people, and when they even got approached, when the pizza boy got approached from that group, if you know who I'm talking about, instead of, feeling any kind of remorse or taking any kind of responsibility, he basically just gaslit them and was like, oh, come on, let her rest in peace. Why are you almost like, well, why are you blaming me for something I did? Just leave it alone, let it drop, turn the other cheek, right? But I'm really glad we're both still here, because honestly, I mean, like I said earlier, there's a reason I brought you up, Butters, because you're always respectful, and you're a kind human being, and that's what we need to do. We don't need to have all the same opinions all the time about everything. Even if people are opposite politically, we have such this, and I had it for a long time, we have such this feeling that we just have to reject people with opposite views of us. But there's a lot of people already causing divide online, and I feel like we do need more people to bring different thoughts together, from both cisgendered and transgender to heterosexual and homosexual and conservative and liberal sides. Like, we all need to kind of find a way to work together, because there's big issues in this world, our climate and being one of them, and the fact that we do have an oligarch system that's suppressing a lot of people, they do target people of color, they do target trans people, they do target gay people, but they also target classism for some people too. It's like, I think people are finally starting to wake up to realize, like, the elite are the friggin' problem. The elitists are the biggest problem in this country, in my opinion.
Yeah. And with you, Butter, I'm really sorry that happened to you, because honestly, being bullied and being called ugly and being harassed is one of the most humiliating. I just hope you don't believe that about yourself, because I know. Some people, they will internalize it, and they really will try to take their own lives. And I think that's just, it's heartbreaking. And I've had people call me numerous names on this app, and I'll act like it doesn't hurt. But at the end of the day, I'm human. It's going to hurt a little bit. And just that you don't see that about yourself. You're not ugly.
Yeah, you're a beautiful person. Seriously.
Yeah.
And you know what makes me even more beautiful? Because I'm beautiful inside, and my beauty shines throughout. And that's what they hate about me, because they don't understand what is it about, Robin, that why does everybody like her? Because I'm genuinely a nice person.
You're a genuine person too. Like I said, there's a reason I when I saw that you go live and I saw you in the box, I wanted to bring you up, because I've always seen your interactions out of love and respect. The bee's knees, that they're the real activists. They're doing stuff every day by coming on this app and harassing other people, and then they act like they're better than everybody else when they're really not. They're not even being genuine or sincere about who they really are, or their life experiences, or anything. They're being complete frauds, and they're causing harm to good people. I'm so glad that both of you are still here and that you made it through that, because I was there in October 2021, but I wasn't quite as bad as you guys were from what you're describing. I've been there before, but not this past time. You guys know, I'm sure, when you deal with depression or when you deal with issues like that, most days it's just like a little gnat on your shoulder that you can brush off, right? It's always there, but most days you can just brush it off. But then there's other days where it's like, wow, that bite really hurt. And then there's other days where it feels like you just got bit by a swarm of mosquitoes, and you're just like, I'm done with this pain. Maybe the world would be better without me. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is it's not a selfish thing. It's like, you really believe things to a point where you think the world or the people around you would be better without you. And that's what you start to believe. At least for me, that's what it was.
That's what I told my kids. I told them, I said, you know, it's not that I didn't love you, it's that I didn't love myself enough.
Yeah.
Because I love y'all, but because I didn't love myself, I didn't think I was worthy to live. I didn't
Yeah.
think I deserved to live. But you know, thank God I've been going to counseling and my meds are straight. So I'm in a good place. But just think
Good.
if I wasn't when he did that to me.
Yeah.
That's horrible. He's targeted a lot of women, from what I understand.
Oh, it's mainly
he does.
women. He targets
And to make
mainly
fun of my
women. Yeah.
mugshot, it didn't that didn't even hurt me because I know I knew I had, you know, I got the paperwork, so I had the summons, and I knew I had to turn myself into the police station. And so for like 6 or 7 days, you know, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. It was just like knowing that I had to go in and be, you know, get a police folder done and all that for something I didn't even do. That just like, you know, like it just. And you know, I'm a good person. I work so hard in my community. I really work hard, you know, build my name. I'm very well known here, and then be arrested for something I didn't do over a lie.
Slap in the face.
And you know what the sad thing is? They know firsthand like how the police do target people of color, and yet they say stand for Black women, but it's only select few. It's
Only-
Well, after
the-
$10,000, I got all my stuff taken care of.
Yeah.
But just say if I couldn't afford an attorney, how it would have turned out.
Is that the case you're working on right now? Is that what you mentioned before? I think you.
Oh, that is something totally different.
Oh.
One of the guys on TikTok said that he said I made a threat against him so he could get a stalking order. I have never threatened him.
Wow.
Oh, but if you need to reach out to me on Instagram, I might be able to help you with that because I've been both the plaintiff in a case like that and a defendant in a case like that. In fact, I was the defendant against Lady Guinevere. She tried to file a harassment charge against me. I represented myself, and they didn't even need to take a testimony from me, and she had like all this quote unquote evidence. The case got dismissed. So
Well, my case got dismissed. He didn't show up.
Oh, good. Okay.
It happened Friday, but it's in Florida. I live 500 miles from where the court case was, so I hired an attorney because I didn't want to go.
Right.
And I'm a woman. He's a man. Like I don't feel safe going there.
Right.
And but they said I heard that he refiled. So.
Oh, you're kidding. He didn't show. He didn't show. They should dismiss it. So he filed a whole new.
And he said he was sitting out there the whole time the courtroom was filled with people. I was like, that's not true because that's not that's a closed courtroom when you have a protection order.
So weird.
It's not open to the public.
Do you mind if I ask who or
Well, I don't really want to say his name.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you on because it's still
Are you on
ongoing.
IG?
Because I have stuff I'm going to do to him, so I just don't want it to appear that I'm harassing him.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Are you on IG?
But again,
Okay. You can find me either under Washington Dog Dad. That's like my innocent private account. So I'm not going to add anybody else that sends like Squidward. I would add, but I'm not going to add anybody else from the comment section unless I know who you are to that account. But that's
my
probably
IG,
the easiest
gotta
account to look up on IG. Yeah, and that's mostly like I don't do really call outs on there. I just do like videos of my dogs and innocent stuff. My other account where I do call outs, I think that's Honey Badger _Dog Dad _FUQIBTL, which is a group on here that rolls with the other group. But yeah, Washington Dog Dad is easy to remember.
And I'm always like afraid of giving my Instagram to people on here because it has my name, like my actual name, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, I would create a second one if you're going to do anything.
Yeah.
I would keep my suggestion to anybody online is keep all your stuff private as much as you can, and don't trust anybody. Like, don't trust anybody with your phone number, your real name. Just don't, because especially not. I'll say this: the people that they all love to claim that I doxed, I did this, I did that. I don't dox. I will expose people who dox. I will expose people who harass and try to get other people to unalive themselves. And so if you're doxing people on a regular basis, if you're harassing people to try and get them to unalive themselves on a regular basis, I will try to find you and I will expose who you are, because you shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. And after my court cases, I do believe in returning the First Amendment right to those that are weaponizing and causing harm to other people. So there's that. That's why a lot of people hate me, because when they're out here doxing people on a regular basis and then I find them and I expose who they are, they don't like things done back to them.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny about that, because like they're like saying, "Oh, kids are off limit," or "Why are you doxing family members are off limits?" But guess what? I'm somebody's child. I'm somebody's mother. You don't think my kids like it don't affect them for you to dox me?
That part. You know what? That part, because
my parents don't care when people harass me.
Hey, Gigi and She, if you guys want to come up, you're welcome too. Please, anybody that can come up, you're welcome.
It's the double standard. It's like they want to harass anybody else, but they don't want it done to them. They want to cry wolf. Oh, no, you're harassing me. It's like, what? Karma, hello? Like, have you heard of her? Like, come on.
How do I get these? Melissa Ann, just, do I know you? Yes, I know you.
Yeah, Melissa's around.
Yeah, we know Melissa.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you? How is everyone? I just wanted to say that I'm happy, Joe, that you're speaking up and speaking out, and that I know everyone on that other side is trying to silence you, but keep talking, because it does make an impact.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, I know they're trying to slander me, scare me off the app. They're trying to, they're literally stitching together their videos, their audios, and painting me out to be this horrible, horrible person. They're trying to accuse me of getting my friend unalived while I'm just trying to get him justice. But I think all their actions speak more about them and the way they're behaving, especially the one that loves to act like she's a real tough individual. She acts like she's the voice for the Black community with her whole white self there. For somebody who says that she, everybody else is acting out of emotions and she doesn't care what other people do, she's kind of showing herself about how much she cares when she's popping up my face behind her and doing hour-long lives about me, which is just a repeat of what she did a little over a month ago.
Oh, definitely. I agree. I know exactly who you're talking about. I noticed over the couple, maybe a year or two on that side, that's all they do is they think they play victim all the time, but yet they're plastering people's faces, doxing people, and just always speaking bad and bullying others. And they think they're the victim, that like if someone speaks up, that's it, they're the victim, and and then that's when they have those hour-long conversations on live about the other person or people, and at the end of the day, looking on this app and that, on that side of, the group of people, they are the bullies. They 100%. Are the bullies 100%.
1,000% they are 100% the bullies. When their leader, and I said this earlier, I'll say this again, I appreciate you guys gifting, but keep in mind that's probably going to all go to TikTok. So you're gifting to TikTok right now, because when they take my accounts, I usually don't have the opportunity to get anything out of there, like my last account that got taken down, and they ended up keeping everything. So I hate giving them money, but I appreciate you guys. I know it's out of kindness of your heart, and I appreciate that so much. I don't ever ask for anything though. No, I mean, you guys are good. I just I don't want anybody wasting anything. But I appreciate just the positivity and the love being sent. You guys are awesome. I know. I hate giving anything to anything. I didn't even look until just now, because I'm not a numbers person, but I'm shocked. There's over 10.8 thousand likes. So I appreciate you guys doing that too. Yeah, we need to speak up. I think collectively, I know there's a lot more people that want to speak up and they're afraid to, because when you have a leader of a group telling everybody on the internet to deplatform anybody that's against, like seriously, they're literally saying deplatform anybody that stands against our cult and all of their followers too. So if you even just want to go and check out the other side, like that's what Blaze remembers. When Blaze and I first started talking, I was very hesitant, and all I did was watch for a while, just listen to the other side. That was it. So you mean to tell me that we can't even go and listen to the other side and watch and learn for maybe a couple of months, like I did, before we really feel comfortable about seeing the truth and hearing the truth and realizing, oh, wait a minute, these people are not the monsters that they were made out to be. They're just trying to like stand up against a lot of BS that's going on this app, that there's something wrong with that. If you don't want us to see through your cult, is that what it is? You don't want us to see through the fact that you're all a bunch of frauds causing harm to other people and not really helping any communities. You're just helping line your own pockets, like making yourselves out to be heroes when you're really not. You're zeros. Because that's what it is. It's these people that are saying, look at me, look at all I do for all the communities. Nobody can compare to the real life work that I do, right? That's what they say while they're protesting TikTok about mass reporting, and they're organizing mass reporting behind the scenes. If you're going to trust somebody like that, who's a total hypocrite, who's out here claiming that they're a voice for the Black community when they're actually white and putting on a costume and blackfacing across the internet, because that's what's really going on with multiple creators that are sitting on that side, literally doing blackface. And why is the community not calling that out, right? Like, I don't understand why the community's not calling that out. And I should say the communities, the people in the communities that are sitting on that side, let me clarify, because it is not an entire community. It's not the entire gay community. It's not the entire Black community. There's individuals that are contributing towards a cult behavior, and they're not calling out foul people that are causing harm to multiple communities. So I see them causing harm to the Black community. I see them causing harm to the Latino community. I see them causing harm to the gay and lesbian and transsexual community, the LGBTQIA plus community, with people that are so horrible and committing crimes towards kids out here, but they say it's all about the children, right? And like Butters was saying, they're out here doxing entire families, and we're supposed to just sit back and not take it. And God forbid we fire back a little bit, then all of a sudden they're crying and playing victim. No, I'm not going to be quiet. The more they try to silence me, the louder I'm going to get. What's that, love?
Or found false stalking charges.
That is, I think I just posted a video. So I've got a new page out there that's Honey Badger. I renamed this one, and then I created a new one that's Honey Badger _ Unleashed. This one's Honey Badger _Unleashed. But my other page, for some reason, TikTok's not allowing me to follow anybody more. But the posts are getting a lot of views. Recent posts over the past day, I've got, one of them has some of the excerpts from the civil suit that I had, Butters, where they literally told Lady Guinevere, he's not stalking and harassing you. Stop saying this. That's not true. Like, you're the one saying it, not us. Stop calling us and telling other officers that other people told you that he was stalking and harassing you, because it's not true. She literally is lying to the police, like trying to tell them that I was stalking and harassing her, and the police is saying, no, that's not true. We're both telling you he's not stalking and harassing you. She just doesn't want to be called out for the fraud that she's committed. She has actual fraud charges, and she's got almost 1 million followers, and she's friends with all of them over there too. Make that, like, this is what I mean. They're all working together. This is bigger than just one group. This is TikTok. I fully believe this is why my account got taken down, and why within less than 2 minutes of appealing it, TikTok was ready to answer me, nope, you're not ever getting this account back. That was the quickest I ever had a response, and I posted that proof too. And I've had almost 100 accounts go down. So when after 100 accounts, to see a response within 2 minutes was really weird, because that never happened to me before. They didn't like me talking about TikTok and what TikTok's doing wrong on this app. That's what it was, because TikTok's protecting all of them. Everybody's got to remember, if these frauds are out here making money, TikTok is making 3 times the amount that the frauds are making. So the frauds are making TikTok money. The frauds are making TikTok money, and TikTok doesn't care about people that get to a point of unaliving themselves, because that brings in money for TikTok. That's drama. That brings in money for TikTok. And as a society, we honestly, we did this to ourselves. I mean, okay, let's talk about the animals that spit at people. That's going to be llamas, alpacas, and camels. There's a group of animals on this page, on this app, that like to spit at people. There's a group. Some of them may be good people, but some of them are not. Some of them are not. I know one of them is not, and I know the leader protected that one that was not. Why can't you just use your whole face?
Exactly. That's what I mean. They can talk all this crap behind the keyboard on oh, sorry, I was reading what she was saying. They were pretty.
It's on her video.
Wow.
See,
of course they are.
this is what they do. They silence other people's voices that go against their narratives. Do you know how many times I'm gonna mention the name? Simply Nikki rides hard or dies for the fold because they protect her and she protects them. Claims that she's just a woman who happens to be white, that she's not a white woman. That's false.
That name sounds so familiar. I feel like
Oh.
I've seen that name.
She's now Nikki from the North because her page got taken down. She
Okay.
has been one of the most vile people that has doxed my entire family, my mom, a whole mess of people, right? Now, I'm not going to deny what I did. I fired back, and I used a screenshot from a public video that she still has up to this day on Facebook, where she sent this video to a man that has like 5,000 followers. But when I take a screenshot and post it, suddenly her child's half naked and in that video, right? She's sending it publicly across the internet to some guy that has 5,000 followers. But when I take a screenshot and I fire back because she's been doxing my entire family and my 90-year-old mom with the onset of dementia for over a year and a half, and I gave her opportunities to go live, I gave her opportunities to have conversations. I tried, and I gave her 24 hours to take down the video, and actually, I gave her a 24-hour warning and gave her over 36 hours, and she still didn't. I fired back. Turned around, and all of a sudden, she's the victim, right? She's the victim. And you got all these creators out here that are sitting here saying that Joe DiGiulio is attacking all these women. And I mean, they use my full name at this point, so I don't care. But they'll say all these things, right? And they'll set this narrative and they'll help make her seem like the victim when really she's the aggressor. She's the aggressor. But she's a whole ass Central Park Amy. And she's out here going after people from multiple different communities and acting like she's a more important voice for those communities than people in the communities. Why is that acceptable? Why is that acceptable?
Exactly.
That's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do. They throw stones and hide their hands. 100%. She.
And these
100%.
I don't even want to know how these people are in real life. I really like off this app. I really don't want to know. Like the amount of harm that they can do online. I can't even imagine the amount of harm that they're doing to the people that love them, or you know what I mean? Like who you are online is really who you are outside. I don't really care what people say.
Gosh. You know what, Squidward? So because she came after me so hard and she was doxing me, I found her on Facebook, and then she's somebody that always tries to use other people's trauma as her story as well, right? So she said that one of her kids was taken out from a train accident. She's not even listed on the obituary. It's not one of her kids. We found it. A bunch of us found it. And she tries to claim that as her own. And then when she went to defend herself about the story, she kind of told on herself. And she said that basically the reason she wasn't in the obituary was because that person had last been at her house and left, and she didn't feel right having her name in the obituary. So what does that kind of tell you? Like train accident, really? Is that a self-unaliving, and you pushed that person overboard and now you're taking out your guilt on the internet, on other people? Because that's what it seems like. That's the same person I told you. I got screenshots of them saying, you know, what's the one thing you wish you had and you never had in life? And she responds with self-love. And yeah, I'm going to find your Facebook public post when you say that and you're doing for all things, and I'm going to post it. If you're going to be that foul of a human and target other people, I'm going to show you what it's like. Make me your villain. I don't care. Lie about me. I don't care. splice together videos, splice together audios. I don't care. I know the truth, and that's all that matters to me. Nobody, like, they've done everything they can. They are doxing my address, my face, my full name, my job 24/7. Like, they don't care about putting a gay man's life in danger. They don't care about victims from police brutality. They don't care about anything but themselves. So what else are they going to do at this point? The only other thing they could do at this point is take me out of this world. And I've already told them, try, because you're going to be coming with me. Like, I really don't care. I've had a good life. I don't care. I will have more enjoyment on my last legs trying to take you out with me than anything else. Like, if I'm going to go out, I'm taking you with me, and that'll be my victory. I don't, like, I'm not. that'll
Like, I ain't
that'll
going
be
out
when
by
we go down.
myself.
Take one with me. Yep. Fuck around and find out.
See, that's the thing. Like, when people are like, I'm honestly, I'm not afraid to be DOXX or whatever you call it. I really am not.
You
Like,
shouldn't be.
I love, like, for me, it's like, if you really find out where I am, you're not even gonna want to come over here. It's boring as hell. It rains like almost every day. Do you think you're really gonna want to turn right back around where you came from? Like, I really would love people to try. And you know where I'm from, honey. Like,
I don't. I mean, you might have told me, but I don't. I usually don't pay attention.
oh, but it's just funny to me. Like
To
I
that.
don't know. Like, I understand, like, swatting is like a thing.
Oh, they
Like,
did that to
freaks
me too.
Yeah.
They wanted to downplay it and make it seem like it wasn't swatting because they're saying only one officer showed up. I'm sorry, I have it on video. 2 did. And that was pretty scary for me. That was pretty scary when that happened, especially considering that my friend was unalived by an officer. My dad used to be an officer, and he used to be very abusive when we were kids, and literally say things like, "What are you going to do? Call the law? I am the law." You know what I mean? So I don't trust a lot of police. Thankfully, the police in my town, like, they know what's going on. They already had a false wellness check. They already have the proof that this person admitted it, basically. And I have the audio from somebody else that was in their group call. Like, I have so much evidence. If this person ever comes to Washington, she's probably going to be placed in handcuffs the moment she gets pulled over, if she does. But there's enough evidence out there of what they're doing that the police told me, don't worry, if anybody does it again, we're going to call you first. We're not just going to show up. Like, we're not going to believe anybody swatting or saying anything. We know that this group is doing it. So sometimes if you're going through this kind of stuff, if you think you might get swatted, it's good to call your police department, your local police department, and let them know so that they're prepared. They know what's going on. You know,
Well,
because
they
they
did
do.
it to me. They called the
So
suicide
dangerous.
hotline and pretended to be me. And I had the police, the fire truck, the ambulance out here.
That breaks my
And the
heart.
police did not even want to leave because they were so afraid, like, because, you know, they got to take it seriously. So I had to make my husband come downstairs and tell them that I was fine.
That
And they
is,
still was hesitant
I,
because I had a, you know, prior attempt.
you know what? And they use that against you, right? Because you know what happens when that happens, right? They section 12, or yes, they section 12 you, they commit you involuntarily or whatever the hell it is. That is the most vile, twisted thing I have heard, honestly. Like, to the amount of damage that does to somebody. Like, people really don't understand mental health stuff, like, at all. It's clear. Like,
They don't.
look, if you say that, hey, my son or my friend, I think they might unalive themselves, you got to realize, like, they can involuntarily commit you. They can literally, I mean, at least in my state, you know, like, you kind of lose your rights in a way. They're like, well, you got to come with us because we don't want to risk it. And then in Butta's case, it wasn't even her.
That's so
Like-
messed up.
Like,
You know what's sad is the fact that you know, people make these calls and they just waste a lot of these people's time. Like, they could be somebody else that is really going through that and ready to commit, you know, unaliving themselves. And then you have, you know, for example, Butter's situation, like, you had all the police, you know, ambulance, and then suicide watch, and they're all at her house, but they could be somebody else that's really ready and attempting to do it at that moment. And we're wasting their time when they could be saving somebody else's life who's really actually doing it. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
it's just it's crazy. And yeah, granted, if someone is going through that situation, a lot of people we don't know. A lot of the mental. I'm going to say a lot of people don't really understand mental. I'm just trying to word it correctly. They're not. A lot of people don't understand, what people go through mentally, and they just, they take advantage and make these, false claims, these false calls, and then you get, they just abuse the whole situation, and then it's just sad. It's really sad because someone else's life could be saved who's really doing it, really doing it at that time, and then then you got all those other people that wasn't doing that.
Yeah, that's totally messed up. Path, sorry, I just temporarily muted you because there was some background noise, but I'm trying to take you off. I'm trying to take you off and mute.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello? Okay. I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute already. I just wanted to chime in about the, getting yourself committed, because I myself almost committed myself because I told my therapist that I didn't feel like being here anymore, and she took that seriously.
Do you feel
Hello?
like social media played a part in that?
Oh, absolutely. Always. I mean, you see everybody reaching goals, or, that FOMO feeling, or they want to call it, But, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of just back and forth online, and then my home stuff and all that or whatever. But yeah, they take that shit serious. Like, you can't just be like, yeah, I just want to check out for a little bit. They take that serious.
Oh yeah.
Because they almost thought that they were scared because I had told them that, and then I took a nap. Sorry, yeah, I'm on the damn highway. They don't know how to drive. But yeah, like I had took a nap, and they didn't hear back from me after I had said that. So they called my emergency contacts. They was calling my mom. They was calling everybody before they was ready to send the police to me or whatever. But I called them back and let them know I was okay. But yeah, it's serious, and you can't just play with people's lives like that.
And especially, people don't understand, right? When somebody's having, a psychosis episode or whatever, more than likely, depending on your skin color, they will unalive you. People don't understand, they treat people with, schizophrenia or bipolar, clearly these people having an episode. So not everything is really what it seems to them, but they believe it themselves. I have family or I have loved ones who suffer from these things. So it is a very dangerous game, what people are doing. It is, I don't know, I can't even emphasize that enough.
Listen, some of them know what they're doing. When they called for me, they made sure to tell the cops that I was gay beforehand. There was no reason to. They wanted the cops to know, because they know that the cops, if they know that, they know how cops are. Let's face it, most cops are prejudiced and homophobic, and if they're not gonna know. So they made sure to let the cops know. They wanted to try and make a target out of me. You know what I mean? There was no reason for them to say that other than to try and make a target out of me. So they know it's dangerous. They don't care if they take somebody out of this world. These are the same people that are challenging people to unalive themselves. They want that control. These are abusers. That's what they are. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Not in a good way, but it makes sense. Because what do abusers always want? They always want control. Whatever kind of abuse it is, it's all boils down to a matter of they want control. And that's all these people want. They call everybody else colonizers. Well, they're really trying to colonize the internet. Did I lose everybody?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
No, we hear.
Listening.
And coasters.
Are you?
Is that what it was? That's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cute.
Oh wow! I know somebody that loves owls better. You definitely need to hit me up because I will buy some of those.
Are you taking customs? I want an elephant.
And, you know, you
Elephants are
buy
my favorite.
you buy the different designs and you decorate it with the beads.
That is so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And there's resin, or how do you do it?
You take the putty stuff and you stick your pin in there, and then you put the little diamond things and stick it. It's color and number coordinated. That's it. It's really easy.
Wow. Those are-
That is so cute.
And my I have a caretaker. She comes and helps me twice a week, and her husband's getting assigned to Baltimore, Fort Meade. So I'm making these for her as a goodbye gift.
That was really cool. Those are beautiful. Do you sell them too, or?
This is my first time doing these coasters.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm gonna put that polyurethane, or you call it, on it and see how it turns out. So if it turns out pretty good, I might sell them.
You definitely should. They look really cool.
Mm-hmm. Somebody washing dishes?
What's that?
I said somebody washing dishes.
Oh, that's.
Yeah,
You
no, I-
guys hear that? Is that really? Can you really hear that? Sorry, that is me. I'm gonna mute.
Everybody
thought you
was
were going to
quiet.
the
All I heard
bathroom.
was dishwater.
I'm
So they
trying
either
to
taking a
put it
bath
on
or they're washing dishes.
because I'm not washing like a lot of dishes. I just have one like 40, 30 cup that I use because I drink a lot of water. So I'm washing that out because I need more water. Got to stay hydrated.
I like the way you say water.
Ice. Eat more ice.
You know, I'm
Eat more ice. It'll keep you hydrated.
Has anybody heard of this app called Noom?
No.
It's a weight loss app because I'm trying to just get my weight down. Even though, like, I'm a big hiker, I do a lot of exercise. My lower half, my legs, my butt, all that stuff is like rock solid. But like I got a little bit of a gut over this past several months. So I've been doing this thing called Noom for a month now, and it's working. But it uses psychology. It's an app, and it uses psychology to teach you how to basically eat healthier, how to monitor your portions. You count calories, you count like how much water you drink throughout the day, your steps throughout the day. It basically does a lot of stuff for you. You know, you weigh yourself in every day. But if anybody is like trying to lose weight, I strongly suggest the app Noom, even though it's worth every penny. It
How
really
much is the subscription?
I think it was like 200 or something. And I'm kicking myself because I didn't want to spend as much money up front. Like I was like, let me try it first, right? But they offered this big discount in the beginning if you just signed up right then. And I wish I did because I would have saved a lot of money. And even at the higher price, it was still worth it. Like, it's better than any gym membership, anything better than any meal program or weight loss program that I've ever seen or done before because it uses psychology. So it's teaching you lifelong tricks. It's teaching you about caloric density and about like which foods are actually better for you to consume than others, about finding alternatives, all kinds of stuff. It like I said, it uses psychology.
That sounds
so it
like
really works.
that sounds like Jenny Craig in your pocket.
I think it's better. I never did Jenny Craig, but I think it's better than anything like that.
Pretty similar to that, like helping you count calories and better your lifestyle, and helping you find your moderation, if that makes sense.
Does Jenny Craig use like psychology too to teach you just like better lifelong habits?
Probably. I'm not sure about that. Hold on.
The thing I like about this is I really feel like once I'm done with this program, that it'll be something that'll just change, because I feel like it's already changed some of my behaviors. I feel like it's actually changed a lot of my behaviors, and I didn't even realize it was doing it. It's just kind of something that I don't know, just something like it gets into your head and it teaches you that you want to start eating healthier. You look for alternatives. Like I used to be that, especially because part of my job is on the road. So I used to stop for fast food probably on average once a week at least. I haven't even touched fast food. I think I did like maybe day 1 or day 2 when I did this program, and that was the last time, and that was about a month ago. I haven't touched it at all, and I don't even have any desire to eat fast food ever again.
I like that. It sounds like it trains you self-control and discipline. 2 things that I lack because I love sugar.
Believe me, me too. I have a sweet tooth from hell. Another good thing that helps me for that is like to drink more water. I love Propel. I'm obsessed with the grape Propel. I have a drawer full and it's mostly grape Propel. But it gives that little bit of sweetness to the water, and it's got minerals in it, so it's really good for you. And it definitely, I don't really drink soda, hardly ever, other than coffee and maybe almond milk, which I use for my cereal and to cook with and stuff. Mostly what I drink is just water with Propel in it. I'm not much of a alcohol drinker either, so it's really rare. But yeah, Propel, if you have a sweet tooth and you want to drink more water, I would strongly suggest Propel. It's like Gatorade water. It's got all the minerals and electrolytes, so it's good for you too.
You're talking about.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing.
There's another good drink out there too, like that. It has like, I think it's called Armor Body or something like that. It's like,
Yep.
they got strawberry banana flavor, fruit punch, and it's all like organic and non-GMO, and it's really good. Keeps you hydrated.
What's it called? I haven't heard of that one.
I think it's called Armor Body or something like that. I don't have
Body
the
Armor?
bottle with. Yeah, I think it's Body Armor. I don't know,
Yeah, it's good.
but I really love their
Especially if you're
strawberry
hungover.
banana. It's
I'll
like a
have to check it out.
smoothie, but in water form. It's delicious.
Listen, I love making smoothies. I bought, so one of my friends did a Pampered Chef party thing, and I decided I wanted to get this blender, but it was so expensive. So I literally had a party, and it was mostly online, like she'll do online parties. But I had a party just to get this blender. And this blender makes like homemade tomato sauce, and like being Italian, like I love homemade tomato sauce from just like nothing but fresh vegetables. And then I use organic like honey for the sweetener instead of sugar. That is the best. The smoothies are the best smoothies I've ever had. Soups, like so incredible. But it was worth it. It was worth having it just for that, because you can like really do a lot of home cooking cheaper and healthier. And there's nothing like homemade tomato sauce from actual tomatoes. It's nothing like it's not the same texture. It's not the same flavor. It's so much better in my opinion.
Sounds just like my husband with his new juicer. He got this new $300 juicer, and he's like, I'm going to juice everything. I was like, okay, have you ever had ginger juice? I was like, no. He was like, I'm juicing everything.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want ginger juice.
I was like, that sounds kind of spicy.
Literally.
The eggs,
Literally.
the steak, the butter.
Oh my God.
Everything.
No.
All of it.
I will say I make homemade peanut butter in my blender too, and homemade peanut butter is better than anything in the stores too. Holy cow.
Fact. Oh, I love homemade peanut butter.
I've made homemade nut butter. It's like if you ever go to the store and you buy those mixed nuts, I've used those to make nut butter, and it is so good. It's really fattening though. It's like even worse than peanut butter, but it's so delicious.
Yeah, it's so
And
much
walnut
protein.
butter.
Probably have a good peanut butter on toast and call it a day.
Have you ever had blended meat?
What is
Blended
it?
what?
Meat.
Ew, no.
Expand?
No, like I had back surgery and they went through my neck, and
Wow.
they pushed my esophagus and my trach to the side, and so it was hard for me to swallow. So I had to have everything like smooth and soft. We tried that meat one time, and that was it. I was like, no, I'll just eat pudding and ice cream and mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That sounds like that baby
Oh
food.
my
My
God.
daughter
It's not the
hated baby
same.
meat. My daughter hated baby meat.
Oh, it's not the same.
I don't think I could do it. I really don't think I could.
Yeah,
I
she
couldn't
left
either.
it on vegetables and fruit after that because she was not doing the meat thing.
No. It's funny you said spicy, and
That sounds gross.
every time I hear spicy now, all I think about is that stupid video where a certain somebody is blaming everybody coming after him for being a spicy pansexual. And I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, I
That
saw
has
that.
nothing to do with it. And
I've seen that too.
you know what
Oh,
drives
you
me
mean
crazy?
the baby bone crusher?
Yeah, that I don't want to use names, and be careful what we're saying because my lives get taken down very easily. TikTok does not like me. They made that clear yesterday. Like, they made it very clear when they gave me a less than 2-minute response of my appeal saying, nope, you're never getting your account back. But yeah, that guy, his friends love to tell me that I weaponize my sexuality. And I'm like, show me where I've ever done that. But yet this guy literally does it, and they're all standing beside him and idle with him, claiming that he didn't do what he did. That's in black and white. That's the stuff that drives me crazy. So you guys probably can't see my screen, but it's literally talking about blind followers, people following like sheep, because that's all his supporters are. That's all the supporters on that whole side are, is sheep following blindly and believing narratives and stories told to them because they have parasocial relationships with people that they'll never meet and with people that would never have their back.
Nope, don't care anything about them.
No, they would turn. In fact, most of them, like, it literally would not take, this is what a lot of people don't realize. It literally would not take much for any single one of their supporters to suddenly become a target one day. All they have to do is stand up for their friend who's being targeted, stand up for a stranger who's being targeted, speak out against the foul things that they're doing if you see it. If you go against the grain and God, you get into this cult or get close enough to this cult and give indication that you want to break free from it, that alone will make you a target because they'll get scared of anybody they even think could expose them. That's why I've been silenced for over a year and a half.
And now the new distraction is all them dogpiling that panda dude and calling him a predator, but y'all best friends sitting in the back seat looking at y'all like, hey.
Well, that's the thing that drives me
New
crazy.
distraction.
It's always they're labeling everybody as predators, and it takes away from the fact that there are real issues on this app with real predators out there. Like, there's such a distraction away from the real ones that are actually doing harm, because there are weirdos. There have been, as long as I've been on this app, there's been weirdos doing weird things, and why this app is continually always allowing it and not monitoring it is beyond me, other than the fact that they make money off of it. They make money off of every single person that's bringing them drama and getting donations or getting anything, like anything. Every little bit helps with them, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's why Blaze said that they have they're like, some of them are in contracts with TikTok to bring that drama so they can keep, that's why they get protected and all their pages are protected.
Yep,
I
it's
fully believe
that
it.
chaos control.
I fully believe it. I think
Ooh, Squidward, I'm on some. I don't even know what you're eating.
wait, what are you eating? I've been bad at I haven't been paying attention to the comments. I'm sorry, y'all.
I think what is it? I think it's like pork chops, and some green beans.
Who remembers pork chops and applesauce?
Oh, I had that yesterday. I had pork chops and green beans yesterday.
Is anybody like around? Butters, you said you're around my age, right? I'm 54.
Yeah, I'm around that age. I'm 28.
You remember that TV show? Wait, you're 28?
Yeah, I'm 28. Not Butter.
No, wait,
Path.
Path is talking. No, I thought Butters or somebody said that they were. Butters doesn't look it, but I thought somebody said that they were closer to my age.
Yeah, I'm 53.
Yeah, you definitely don't look it. But do you remember?
At all.
No, not at all. I know, seriously. But do you remember that TV show where where the kid said, what was it? It was like applesauce, pork chops, and applesauce. And he said it just weird like that. It was like this big thing. It was the Brady Bunch. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
remember. Yep.
Yeah. Every time I hear somebody say pork chops and applesauce, that's all I think of.
Those are the good old days.
So I got a question again without bringing up names. Like how do you expose people? How do you adjust people when they literally have a cult-like following and a mob mentality to where a lot of their supporters are like, they just don't care. They don't care. They're not going to believe it. How do you break through that barrier of exposing a group of people for what's really going on this app? Because we all know what they're doing. We all know the harm that they're causing. We all know they're afraid of being exposed, and that's why they're scrambling lately. But how do we actually make an impact or get through and do anything? Because TikTok's not going to do it.
Hit them in the pocket.
Okay.
Start suing people for defamation, and if they're harassing and cyber stalking you, get restraint orders. And when that stuff start happening to people, and people actually have jobs out there that they can't have that type of stuff on their back, there's like, you know what? Wait a minute, this may affect my real life. I can't be acting all crazy. I gotta start acting like old again.
They try to do that though with false stories, and this is what they don't realize is that when you start making claims like that, like you have to have everything to back you up.
Yeah, you have to have the burden of proof is on you.
Yeah, the two cases that I had were very, like I said, the first one I was the plaintiff. I feel like I got really bad representation because the attorney was trying to push forward the case without using any evidence because of the way the prior cases had gone, or the prior hearings have gone, which were like pre-trial hearings. So I absolutely should have used the evidence. Always make sure you can use your evidence if you have it. The second one I had, where I was the defendant, she was allowed to present as much evidence, quote unquote evidence, as she wanted, but there was no evidence. Like, there's a big difference between your First Amendment right and actually stalking and harassing anybody. So the people that are just frivolously filing charges or something against somebody, hoping that they won't show up or whatnot, because you want to try and silence somebody, a lot of times that's not going to work. If somebody's actually harassing you, especially off of the app as well, you got to make sure that you have your solid evidence and that you bring that forward to the not just the courts for the civil case, but to the police as well.
I do. I have police reports.
That
Yeah,
sounds like the case Blaze had with that other lady with that big old yellow T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
And
So far,
she came up there with all her evidence, and the judge said, "You look like the stalker, ma'am. You look like the harasser. All this evidence you're giving me, it ain't."
yeah, that actually is so funny because when Lady Guinevere presented all her evidence, she had to turn around and give me a copy of it because, defending myself, I'm entitled to review it all before the hearing, right? So she had to mail me all a copy of it. Weirdly, true story, I had avoided getting COVID that whole time, and weirdly, she somehow included pride buttons in the package. Like, I don't know what the hell she was trying to do, but that package was sent to me overnight, and within like a week after receiving that package, I had gotten COVID for the first time.
Wow.
So I know that people have said that it can live on metal and plastic for up to like 48 to 72 hours. Well, that package was delivered to me in less time. And she also advertised on TikTok that she had just had COVID like shortly before that. And I was like, oh, great. Thank you. Like, I still wonder to this day if she did it. I still wonder to this day if she did it on purpose, because there is absolutely zero reason for her to include those pride stickers and buttons in the package other than for her to be manipulative like she was in court, because she probably knew I would bring it up. And as soon as I brought it up, she was trying to tout herself as like such a great advocate for the community. Oh, Your Honor, I just happened to be sending out pride packages to a bunch of people, and I just used one of those packages and didn't realize it was in there. I'm like, there's no way you didn't realize that bulky set of pins, metal pins, was not in that package when you grabbed it. There's no way. Like, that was all just her manipulation.
That's a prime example of throwing stones and hiding your hand.
Yeah, and that's what she did. And now I've got so much evidence. She tried to make it seem. So there's another thing. The live that they had yesterday, I had called out. Do you guys remember the page called The Watchers of the Net? There was 2 versions of it. The first face, the anonymous face, and they were going after a guy named, God, what's his name? Moses. Do you guys remember that? The account that exposed Moses. It was called The Watchers of the Net.
I remember that name. I remember that. I think he made a video about Lisa, didn't he? And her visit. The feds or whatever.
I don't know, but this whole video about him was done by somebody from a troll account, and the troll account was called The Watchers of the Net. Well, they tried to do a 2.0, and they tried to label me as that, and I found out it was Exodus from the fold.
Yeah.
And last night, and I think I kind of heard it. Yeah, last night I got it on video. Rabbi and Penelope both literally admitted that was Rabbi, and I don't think they even did it because they were so cocky in the stuff that they were talking about that they let it slip. Rabbi let it slip, and Penelope agreed with him. Yep, it was Exodus's old account. Yeah. So they basically told on themselves, even after I had already enough evidence to prove that this was Exodus. They basically sealed the deal for me last night and provided me.
Oh my
They tell on themselves all the time, and they don't realize it. And then when they realize they get caught, as soon as they realize they get caught, they make a video going, "Oh yeah, you were trying to play me, but I played you," because they know they got caught, and they want to try and make it seem like they were one step ahead of the game when they really weren't. And then they end up telling themselves even more. It's like they're so dumb.
We know too.
They're so stupid. They don't even realize what they're doing. I mean,
so weird.
They're easy to catch. They really are. If you just start paying attention to little things, they're very easy to catch.
Oh, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna drop down. My phone's about to die.
No, thank you for joining.
No problem. Love y'all.
Love you too. Yeah, I did kind of feel like he came after me briefly. I didn't even know who he was, and he started making videos about me. I'm like, dude, I don't even know you. Rabbi.
Oh, Rabbi did?
Mm-hmm.
Why has he always got the black and white filter on? It seems like all the blackfishers do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It has the black and white all the time.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so he's got heritage, according to him, he's got heritage from Middle East, right? But why would you put out somebody else's DNA results and claim some public DNA results as your own if that's the case? Why are you that much of a liar? Because he got caught doing that, number one.
Wow.
Number two, if you were raised as a white boy in Virginia and you didn't experience that, why are you acting like you're talking about quote unquote my people and all this stuff like you had this personal experience when you just found this out from getting a DNA result, right? Okay, you want to reconnect, that's one thing. If you want to reconnect with your roots, that's one thing. But to act like you've had experiences that other people really have had and really deal with when you're going out of your way to make yourself appear as something that you're not. You know what I mean? Like what Denise is doing. To me, while she's out here calling everybody else a WS, I don't understand why she and her friends are not looking in the mirror or looking at her and saying, wait a minute, you're literally putting on costumes and blackfacing on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny. Rabbi refers to himself as Arabic. That's literally a language. Why would he? He's
Middle
if he's
Eastern.
Arab, he's just Arab, not Arabic. Why
Does
is
he say Arabic or does he say Middle Eastern?
I don't know. I'm assuming that this person he refers to himself as a language.
Probably.
Like people don't understand the difference between being Arab and the language of Arabic. Like I don't know. It's just funny to me.
There's another one, a guy named Kevin. I don't know if you guys know him. He got caught and got, I guess, like chased off the app, and like he disappeared for a few months and then came back. And when he came back, suddenly he's wearing things around his head like he's Middle Eastern too. And he like tries to say that he grew up that way. And you look at all his childhood photos and they all have like the Catholic cross around their neck. Like, wait a minute, something's not adding up.
Oh man, people are weird. I don't know.
This person's got my Arabian ass. I'm never. You know what's funny? My dad's literally from the Middle East. I've never referred myself as Arabian. Like that is such like a. I don't even know where people come with that term. Like you're either just like Arab, Middle Eastern, or you're Persian or whatever. Which being Persian is just you're on. People don't really know that.
Horses like that, Arabian horses.
What's up?
Aren't horses described like that, Arabian horses?
I actually don't know. I've never.
I don't either.
Yeah, the horses. Yeah, the horses are Arabian horses.
Maybe that's where he got it from. Maybe he thinks it's a horse.
Or
Yeah.
Aladdin, Arabian Nights, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like okay.
Because this is the other thing that drives me crazy. Is anybody in here part native or indigenous? No? Okay. I would love to ask somebody who is, but there is a creator that created a page in a I don't know if you want to call it a movement, like a bowel movement or whatever. All these pages called Checkahoe Nation. I'm like, isn't that disrespectful to Native and Indigenous people?
Oh, I know who that name is.
Yeah, but isn't that? I mean, seriously, I'm curious. I really would love to talk to somebody who's Native or Indigenous that's not affiliated with them, because to me that seems very disingenuous and offensive towards the Native community, especially considering that this person, from what we've all known, it was not raised that way, and I don't think is that way.
Yeah, correct. I think so too. I agree.
I think they're just white, again, costuming.
Yes.
And they get really offended when people talk about that. Like
They do.
for people that say that they don't care and they don't, like, nothing bothers them, they get really offended to the point where they have to record every live, they mass report every live. They slander people who bring out the truth about them. I mean, shoot, she was even, I remember when I was friends with her, she was like telling me she needed a team. She needed people to record for her. She used to beg me like, hey, I need you to go into this live with Mia and Kicking It because they're having my sister on and I need somebody to record that live for me. Everything was always about her. I'm working 2 jobs and like, I need this, I need that. Like she uses people and orders people around like they're puppets for her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop down, by the way, because it's getting late and everything. But thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you for coming and joining.
Yes, and your lives. You can come up whenever you want me to.
I appreciate you joining, especially just like that subject that we had earlier, because I hate speaking for other communities. Like I would rather have somebody from the community speaking for them.
I appreciate that, because not a lot of people do that. They just want to talk and talk and talk, and it's like, if someone else avoids a little bit, you know?
It bothers me how much I see trans issues and the subject of cisgender coming up, and people are talking about it and saying what is and isn't appropriate for the LGBTQ plus communities without, like, especially when they're talking about trans issues and they don't even have a trans person in their box. I'm like, don't you think that's kind of important? Like, I even feel weird sometimes as the G alphabet, like speaking for the D alphabet. You know what I mean? Like, I would prefer to have somebody from the trans community speak for trans issues. But if there's nobody available and I see people talking about it, I'm like, okay, well, let me try to at least be a positive voice or bring awareness or something if I can.
Exactly.
I'm glad because you guys made me feel so comfortable asking questions.
As you should be able to feel that way.
I felt my questions were valid, and you guys were very respectful, and I appreciate you guys.
And especially like with everyone here, like we all know each other in that way. So it's like, it's not, we're not like the other side where they just attack.
That's the thing. We need people to be able to have more healthy, open conversations without the attacking and make people feel safe and comfortable to have healthy discussions instead of trying to act like people are superior, better than, or less than, or anything like that. And I just appreciate all of you guys too, because I'm really glad I got to know all of you.
And we didn't even have an argument doing it.
Well, I'm not gonna have an argument with you guys. What? I'm not an argumentative person, but if I need to argue, I will.
Right? I think everybody's like that. Like we all have it inside of us.
Exactly.
So
I'm gonna drop down real quick and stuff.
Hey, thank you again. I appreciate you, Squidward.
Yes, appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Night, Squidward.
Night.
Night. Hey everyone, sorry I haven't been. Oh, hey, singing. I haven't been paying much attention to the comments. I'm really bad at that sometimes. I'm sorry. And if anybody wants to join, they're welcome to. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay on here. Nick Spider. I don't know who that is, but welcome. Melissa, have you had any experiences with them, with that group?
Yeah, so I was more of like I would join in on like a lot of lives, like Police's live and whatnot. I would talk here and there, but I was more like just in the background being quiet, and like I would stand up if someone was being disrespectful or whatnot. But there was a few times where they would jump into the lives and then do their little attacks here and there, which didn't really bother me because I don't take that stuff personally, but I do know, like, have witnessed it for over a year, maybe 2 years now since I've been on the app, that they are literally toxic people, like, and it definitely is a cult 100%, because that's it. They want to always play the victim, but at the end of the day, the way that how they talk and hold their conversations in their lives, they're always talking about other people and always like want to do the mass reporting and talking about getting other people off the app and whatnot. And they're the ones that always like bad mouthing others, when at the end of the day, everyone else is, for the most part, is minding their business, but it feels like they always want to argue, always want to fight, always want to dox people, always think everybody is in the wrong except from themselves. And it's really such a toxic group of people. And it's crazy how like this app was once, a kid app, and now all of a sudden it's got tons of adults on it. And if you just like browse around different types of lives and stuff, there's so much drama. It's like insane how much drama amongst all the adults that there is on this app.
It really is. But I just hit your mute button just temporarily. You could unmute it anytime. I just did it because there was like some echo or feedback coming back. But I just wanted you to be aware in case you started talking again, that you knew anyway.
No worries.
But yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, it's been going on. They've been doing this for a long time, and I actually got off the app like around mid-October 2021 for several months to take care of my own mental health, because it really wore me down. That first court case really wore me down. I won't lie. Like, they celebrated and they continued to harass me every day after that. There was a new troll page about me with my face, my name. Like, they enjoyed doxing me on a pretty regular basis. Some of the people that were doing it 2+ years ago, or almost 2 years ago, it's weird because some of them I'm friends with because they've seen the truth, and they're like, they don't side with the person that lied to them and was using them to come after me, and they've apologized. Other people there's a couple people that have apologized, would never take public accountability and actually flipped back over to the other side to come after me again. So like their apologies were fake. One of them is an animal that spits at people, a llama. And Kappa defended her and made a video for her about me. So, and I don't know Kappa. I never had any experience with Kappa. For her to do that and follow blindly was really shitty because she never even tried to speak with me. But you know, in my opinion, they are part of that side. Maybe not all of them, but from what I've seen, if you're riding with a group, you've got to. In my opinion, this is why I've never been a part of any group like that. Even though I was friends with some people that were, and I didn't realize what was happening, the grooming. But I never belonged to any family or group or named group or anything like that, because I kind of feel like then you're putting yourself in something where that group is a reflection of you and you're a reflection of that group. Like there's a shared responsibility. It's if people think that people in the LGBTQIA plus community should call out other members, or the Black community should call out other members, like to me, that's unrealistic, because those are big communities. We don't all know each other. We can't be responsible for everything. But if you're part of a little small family on here and a little small organized group that you're choosing to be a part of, you know, being part of the Black community or the gay community is not a choice. Like you just automatically are, right? You're born that way, period. But when you're choosing to be part of a group and a family online, that's a different story. You have the power to leave that group, to not support that group, to call out other behavior within that group. And just, you have a choice to decide if you want to stay supporting that group or not. I remember being on that side and the narratives that were set to the point where they're so convincing that, and that's the thing I hope people realize is like, these are con artists. And what are con artists good at? They're good at putting on charm. They're good at convincing people of things that aren't true. They're good at conning people out of money. They're good at, you know, basically manipulating. They're master manipulators, and they're often very charming. They may not be the best looking all the time, or they may be. And, you know, especially the good looking ones you got to watch out for. And let's face it, the leader over there, if you don't know any better and you don't know their personality and you're just an observer from the outside, you're like, oh, wow, this person's a good person. They're helping the homeless. They're doing this. And they're a good looking person. So you're going to be naturally attracted to them, right? And then they put on the charm. They're sipping champagne in front of you or something like that. And they're making it seem like they're, you know, a king or a queen. And they're putting on these acts like they're superior. There's a charisma there that we're attracted to naturally. But we've got to be careful with that, because those are the dangerous people. They're convincing us to believe that they are the only good ones and everybody else is their enemy. And sometimes they're convincing you that good people are bad and that bad people are good. It's the internet. We've got to do research and start really looking at facts, especially when we're talking about somebody that's supposed to be a representative for the community, like the pansexual zesty person that claims he's the representative for the community I'm a part of. I'm not going to ever accept that. And when people say that and his friends are the community, I'm like, no, that's a small group of it. And please don't affect the entire rest of the community because of that group. Please, like, that's not us.
You know, he exploits that community, because like he'll say the most egregious things to a straight man, and then when the straight man claps back, he wants to cry, oh my God, you're being transphobic. Oh my God, everybody, y'all need to go after him because he's a transphobic. Like, but you can't say the things you say to straight men and don't think they're not going to. So they're not just mad. They're not mad at the gay community. They're mad at you as a gay man who just disrespected them.
He's not even gay. He's pansexual. Which means he's attracted to pretty much anybody or anything, like any person, as long as I hope he's only attracted to humans.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell a straight man to suck something, and then if he says something back to you, then you want to holler. oh, you transphobic.
Here's my thought. The person that we're talking about, I don't think he's transphobic.
No. He says that like if like
No, I
say
know
I'm
what you mean.
pretend I'm a man and I say
Are you talking about SOBE? Are you talking about Sobe? Like because they attacked
No.
him. I know they attacked him.
no, like if say me, I'm a man right now, and me and that person's arguing, and he says, "Oh, I hope you get
I know what you're gonna say.
you need to
Right.
suck my you know what, suck my
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what." And you know I'm
Eggplant.
straight, so if I'm a straight man, I clap back and call him a name. And then he'll run to the community saying, "Oh my God, y'all need to attack him because he's going after our community."
I personally, like, this is just my personal beliefs. It's not even a matter of offense to me. It's more of a matter of like just respect to the communities. I don't think, like I was saying earlier, somebody could call me whatever they want. I'm never going to return with a slur unless it's equal playing ground. Like I'm in the gay community. So if somebody calls me the F slur as a gay man, I might call them the F slur back. You know what I mean? But like normally I wouldn't agree with that. I'm definitely not going to use other slurs towards other communities. No way. Like you're just never, no matter how much hate you bring towards me, I'm just not going to do that. But I think people can do homophobic and transphobic and racist things without intention of being homophobic or transphobic, or even I think what YT people especially, I think a lot of them, they don't even realize when they're being that way, and they're probably not intending to be that way because let's face it, society, the systemic racism, what is instilled through society is brainwashing. And a lot of people, I don't even think they've taken into consideration that they may be brainwashed by society to believe certain things, and they have to deprogram themselves. But the first step is admitting, right? And if they can't even admit that they may be doing those things that are harmful to other communities, if they're not even willing to look at it or take it into consideration, they're not going to be willing to change. So their intentions might be there, but they're not realizing the impact. Did I make sense? I know what I meant to say. I know what I was trying to say.
It's just like I guess I could see both sides. I don't agree with either side. I don't think people should be that disrespectful. But if you're telling a straight man to suck your thing, and then he calls you gay, then you wanna. It's like at that moment he's mad at you as a gay person, and you're mad at him as a straight man, and that's why you guys are saying it to each other. Don't bring other communities in it when you two are fighting each other. I don't like that. Now, if somebody makes a statement, "Oh, the whole straight community is blah blah blah," or "the whole gay community is blah blah blah," then that's an issue. But when two people are arguing, I don't think they should be bringing other people in it.
So I saw this is something right in line with this topic. There's a person on this app that he was one of the first people I followed, and because he was one of the first people that TikTok pushed to my algorithms, and he's the one I was talking about. You know, he always starts off his videos, "What's up? What on all my TikTok family? Please do me a solid. Please like, share, stitch, save, duet, share, save this video to your platform and share it out to everybody." He engages in the mob mentality more than anybody I know. He will tag people, tell people to follow suit. He will tag a bunch of people, tell people to tag people. Everybody take action, basically asking people to harass others for him. And he will often label people as, he and his group often label people as racist, even though his VP of his group is a blackfisher. She's a white woman pretending that she's black and indigenous. But he had videos go viral because there was a YT man that was part of some group that called him the N-word on a live and shouldn't have done that. And other people sat there idle and quiet. A few people called it out. And it went viral. The whole situation went viral because the main person that was called that, basically made a video response saying, you don't know what it's like to be called this, to be, and said how he was stabbed when he was a kid and all this stuff. So the situation went viral and everybody called that other person out. But this same person that everybody made videos for and that, the whole Black community stood up for, and a lot of allies from for the Black community stood up and said, no, you shouldn't be calling him that. And I agree, he shouldn't have been called the N-word. I completely agree. He shouldn't have been. Like, that's just my feelings. I don't think somebody should be attacking with slurs. That's just my opinion. But he was so offended by it, sat there in his live, while somebody from, I'm just going to say her name, Tavia, called me the whole ass F slur. And he was saying, I don't want to hear anything from anybody because she's part of his community. She can call him that. You're on mute, love. Butters, you're on mute, sorry.
I was saying that's not right. Like,
and you know what? Cuban was in that live too. I'll say their names just as I'm trying not to use names, but I'll say their names. Cuban was in that live too, and her only response was, "Oh, because it's somebody they hate, and because it's the gay community, it's okay." And that's where it's so wrong, because we've got somebody who's supposedly a bisexual woman. I don't know if Tavia is or not. I don't know, but even if she is, it doesn't give her the right to call. She's not part of the gay community. She's not a gay man. And she's still attacking somebody else within her own community, supposedly. But I don't know. I don't care. I've been called that word since I was a kid.
None of that stuff.
See, that's what I mean. I don't think we need to bring slurs into it. If somebody's actions are bad enough, let's just focus on their actions. To me, there's no reason for slurs. I'll call out slurs any day from any side towards any person, unless it's I can tell you this. There's good friends of mine, especially in Florida, that when I see them and they're part of the gay community, I will walk up to them. They'll walk up to me and we will be like, "Hey, slur, what's up?" And it's totally meant in a loving way. It's not. We don't mean harm from it. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like.
Because y'all took what people try to use as a negative, and y'all embraced it as your own. So just like people that use the N-word.
See, now
towards each other, other Black people.
If I was ever to say that, Butters, I would be told that I'm comparing gay to Black, and I've never said that, but I know I would be told that. I sometimes try to use examples so that other people can relate to them. I never ever mean anything in a disrespectful way. But I think it's important to be able to relate to one another and sometimes use examples that other people can relate to, right? It's just, we're all human. And it kind of puts us back into that human space of, oh yeah, I can understand how you might feel. That's what I do for the trans community. I try to say, okay, well, I could kind of relate to it this way. I can't fully understand because I'm not trans, but I could at least relate to it because I have similar experiences in this way, right?
Yeah.
And I just wish people would be more open to that. I think there's a lot of offense too sometimes where people say impact over intention. I totally get that. But let's also take into consideration that intention does matter, because if a person is kind-hearted and their intentions are good and they may not realize that something they're saying or doing has that impact, and they're willing to say, okay, yeah, I can see it that way and make changes and try to better myself, what more can we ask for? Nobody's perfect. As long as we're trying, and we're trying to be considerate and respectful towards other people, even with regards to wanting to be called gender or cis, I'm not going to walk up to you and be like, hey, I'm just going to call you cis because I know you don't like it. That's silly. That's antagonistic. Do I think that the word should be able to be used on a regular discussion for trans people? Absolutely. But I don't think people should be trying to be antagonistic and purposely calling something when somebody says, I don't want to be called that. Maybe have calm conversations and try to explain, hey, this is why I don't think it's really logical for somebody to get offended or hurt by that word. You know, maybe try to look at it a different way and have a healthy conversation. But too many people want to be like, no, I'm going to call you that more. I'm going to call you sissy, you know, like stupid things. People just forget how to be kind, I think. Are you?
I understand it's like the whole cancer culture because, like, you know, as young people, you know, we have made a lot of dumb mistakes, made a lot of dumb decisions, and we still make dumb decisions. But I don't think someone in college or whole everything should be taken away because they make one mistake. To me, like, you know, like when they catch the college kids saying the N word, they automatically want them to get them kicked out of school. You know what I think? Maybe making them do community service,
There you
going
go.
around as people and, like, you know, feeding the homeless or working out of a soup kitchen and, you know, exposing them to that. Because if you kick them out of school, what is that going to bring? Just more hate.
You got a good point. I mean, even like if we look at our prison systems, like we should be trying to rehabilitate people, trying to help people to do better in every aspect in life. And I'm seeing too much on the other side where what they're trying to do, and shamefully, I have to admit my flaws. Like, I've allowed them to bring me to their level a few times. You know what I mean? You receive so much hate by people that really have valid reasons to hate you. Some people that you may have even considered to be mutuals or friends at one time, and you're getting all this hate, and especially when it's unjust, you're liable to snap back at some point. But like, really, I'm trying to have more of these healthy conversations with people. Yes, there's issues online. Yes, they're going to be upset that we're talking about them and the things that they do because they don't want to be exposed. But on the same token, at the end of the day, I can try to better control myself and not be reactionary towards their hate and not ever stoop to their levels. So like, that's why I was saying, like, I don't care. Somebody could call me the F slur. Somebody could call me every horrible, disgusting slur in the world, especially if they're from a different marginalized community other than me. I'm never going to use a slur towards them or towards their community to be attacking back. You know, I might return, if they're calling me a slur from my community, I might use that same slur that targets my community back at them. That's probably the worst I would do. There's certain words that are derived out of hate, like cisgendered is not a word derived out of hate. So for me, it's not even comparing apples and oranges when people say that to a slur word, compare that to a slur word. Slur words are very specific. They are words derived out of hate. And I just feel like there's so much hate in this world as it is. Like, those are the words that we can maybe try to leave out of the conversation, because that will never have an impact on a person's character or lack thereof.
We just got to keep remembering, like, when you have a difference with somebody, attack the issue, not the person. And we get caught up in attacking the person.
That's a good point.
Because I guess it's just so much easier for people to attack people instead of really using your brain to actually have an intellectual conversation.
That's a really good point. Let's see. Is Melissa still here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool. I'm like, you've been quiet. I want to hear from you.
I was just listening.
Oh, did Butters drop?
Did she drop?
I think she did. Yep, I think she dropped.
No. Oh well.
I was enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, that was a good
I wanted to
conversation.
hear from you too, because I'm like, I didn't want us to.
No.
not give you
I
time
like.
to-
I always enjoy listening to the conversation, because everything you said is very important. Especially when it comes to the the gay community, the trans, all of that. Like, I feel like it's not, that community needs to be heard more. I feel like that you know, a lot of people just don't have the education or the knowledge about it, about them, you know. And honestly, I don't either. I have a lot of friends that are gay and stuff, but I don't have any friends that are trans, so I don't know much about the community. So I do need to educate myself more on it. But I feel like they do need to be. This community does need to be heard more. Needs to be, you know, and understood. And they're very important. They're people too, and a lot of people are so judgmental, and I don't know. They just a lot of people are so judgmental, and they just. I don't know. It's just everyone's so ignorant to it, you know? I don't have the right words for it.
No, I get it. I mean, it's funny because the smear campaign that was started against me just a little bit over 2 years ago, a lot of people may not realize this. It was started by another gay man. It was started by somebody else in the gay community. And the whole thing started was, long story short, I know there was more to it because he had a crush on me, and I like when I saw how controlling he was. Plus, he lived on the other side of the country. But when I saw how controlling he was, I quickly said, no, I think we should just be friends. And he still was upset that he wasn't getting all the attention that he was prior to me saying that. And when I was trying to help this trans man apologize for basically saying some disparaging thing about this fair space movement that he and I were a part of, this guy decided that he wasn't going to let the trans man apologize. He was going to start harassing him more because he said, hey, he had beef with him in the past and he didn't want to let him apologize. So he started harassing him more. And when I called out that harassment, I tried to address it privately off the app, said, please stop. He agreed he would. But then he started harassing him, making like 10, 15 videos about him per day, right? And I called out his bullying. I'm like, hey, we're part of this anti-bullying campaign and you're bullying this guy. It's Pride Month. He's a trans man in early transition. He's a recovering addict. Like, stop pushing his buttons. Like, you're literally I said to him too. I said to this gay man, the gay anti-racist is what he calls himself, Uni. I'm like, what are you going to do if this trans man takes his own life during Pride Month? Like, the trans community is the one that's the most targeted in our community. And he literally said to me he didn't care. And I repeated myself to him, I'm like, what are you saying? I'm like, are you literally telling me you don't care if this trans man from our community takes his own life during Pride Month over your bullying? And he said it again. He said, I don't care. And then he called him a piece of, poop, basically, and said he wouldn't care. And at that point, I said our friendship was over. Once I said our friendship was over and he got his feelings more hurt than he ever had, telling him no like that set him overboard, and I became the target. And I was literally blamed for like everything that this trans man did, anything that anybody did to defend me. I was blamed for everything at that point. And he made up so many stories about me, and everybody, all of his friends just followed suit. And so many of his friends were from that side, and they were at one time mutuals or friends with me. It's like the people that you end up trusting are the very ones that end up turning on your back. It totally is like a cult and a mob. And the weirdest part is when I met most of them, Lady Guinevere, Uni, Scott, all of them, they were supposedly, even Cuban, they had this whole big panel on YouTube that I watched. They were supposedly breaking free from a cult, the Pride, right? The Pride was supposedly a cult, and they were supposedly breaking free from it with Goddess Mia and North Omaha Cat Lady and all them. And they were supposedly breaking free from the cult, but they really just started their little cult with no name. And then they work with the other cults.
Yeah, that's terrible. That is so terrible. For him to say that he doesn't care that, someone would take their own life, especially what he's going through, his early transition, addiction and all of that. I don't know how anyone could say that and just not care, just not have any ounce of, any type of emotion whatsoever, just to be like, oh, I don't care.
Well, and that was the whole reason at that point I said our friendship's over, because I can't be friends with somebody like that. And this is somebody that I developed a friendship with. And the another weird thing about this guy is he's an artist, right? And I literally bought a Black Lives Matter t-shirt from his t-shirt sales company that he utilizes. I got the wrong t-shirt. Excuse me. I got the wrong t-shirt and I sent him a copy of my shipping label. I was very naive. The shipping label with my full address and full name on it. I was very naive, stupid, exchanged phone numbers with this guy, all kinds of stuff, right? Like, I thought, in my naivety, I thought, if that's the right word, I thought that this guy was a professional. He had a lot of followers. He was friends with Lady Guinevere, who had almost 1 million followers. Like, of course, they've got to be decent people.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Of course. Like, you think no way could some big app like TikTok allow people to get this big that are bad people, right? They're respected by so many people, all this stuff, right? So you blindly follow, you not even knowing what the term parasocial relationship meant at that time, not even knowing what doxing meant at that time. My naive ass just like starts communicating with these people, not realizing they're grooming me to be part of their cult. I mean, I even remember Lady Guinevere saying to me when all the crap blew up between Uni and I remember her saying to me that basically she was telling me to mind my P's and Q's because there was a family that was about to ask me to join them. And I don't know what family that was. I don't know if it was IVTL. I don't know if it was a Fold. I don't know if it was anybody else. Landini had already asked me to join his group and I had already said no multiple times. So I don't think it was that one, but I don't know what group it was. I didn't care. I told her she knew how I felt about families and groups and that there was no way I was going to do that. And I especially wasn't going to sell out my integrity for any group or family that I didn't give a shit. And she didn't like that I wasn't controllable.
Why do you want to be with Landini?
So it's going to sound silly, but Landini's group had a motto that they don't bully anybody, and I was bullying the bullies back then. I was also I was doing troll hunting back then and finding the racists and the P3DOs and the homophobes that were hiding behind faceless screens. But when I was finding them and exposing them, I was doing it in a different way than Landini was. He was doing it more in a military fashion, and I was kind of doing it in my own fashion. It wasn't illegal or anything. It was just that I was more, like I said, they had this thing where they didn't bully anybody. And I was like, screw it. They're bullying people. They deserve a little bit of their own taste of the medicine, right? So I also didn't want to be part of a controlled group, I guess. Like, I don't know. I've never been a group thing like that or run with what's popular. I've always been somebody who marches to the beat of my own drum.
You should. I don't think anyone should be following a group just to be like popular or noticed or whatnot. I think it's good to be your own person and follow what you believe in personally, and see what you believe is right, what you believe is wrong, and just be yourself and just lead yourself on your own path. I feel like a lot of people on this app follow who's popular, who has the most following, or who causes the most drama, and drama sells, unfortunately, on this app. That's where all this drama on this app is. Everyone follows that drama and loves it. They just love it.
I will say, when I look back now and I look back, I don't even think that they would seriously take a look at themselves long enough to realize that their behavior is grooming. It took me a while to even realize, yeah, that's actually what they were doing. They were grooming me to be basically a bully for them because they were, my God, I didn't know any of the people that they were going after. I didn't know any of the situation or the people that they had beefs with. And they kept talking to me like I should know. They kept talking to me like I was stupid for not knowing. And because they had been involved in this drama for so long, they forgot that there are people outside of their world. And so here I come along and I'm like, I really don't know these people that you're talking about. I don't know who Fluffy Mikey is. I don't know who Vanessa is. I don't know these people. I don't know, I only know North Omaha Cat Lady and Goddess Mia for these reasons. You know what I mean? And they would literally sit there and send me video after video. And put their narratives to it and convince me of this person's a villain, this person's a villain, and oh, we're all the victims and we need help. We can't do this alone. We need help. So they really, like, they play on people's emotions. They play on the side of us that is human and wants to help other humans. They play on that and they play victim to basically, I can't just think of any other way. They groom people to be their little attack dogs for them. And what's so screwed up is they're gaslighting so much that I'll say his name, Dominique M. Kane Allen, whatever he wants to go by, 34 Kansas City, Missouri, how he addresses me. He always puts out my full name and my location. He does it every time, my age and everything. He constantly is attacking everything about me. He's constantly putting out information. I'm sorry, I just totally got a brain cramp too. This guy, like, has been one of the biggest thorns in my side, and I think his biggest problem with me, aside from I do think that he is homophobic, he's got a gay brother that nobody ever knew about until I found him, and the photos alone when he's next to all his family members are very revealing, because that's the only family member where he looks physically uncomfortable sitting next to this brother and nobody else in his family. Like, you could see it in photos. It comes through. But he you know, I'm not going to go down that road. Let me just stop there. I'm sorry, because it's getting down the path that I don't really want to go, because they will mass report it, and I'm sure they're recording. So I'm just gonna stop with him right there. Sorry, I know I just ended that conversation abruptly, but I needed to.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Plus, it wasn't going the direction that I really wanted it to, and I just felt like I needed to stop talking about him. I'm going back on some of these comments.
So you were one of the bullies that bullied the bullies.
I did, and I'm trying not to do that anymore. I still will call them out or expose their actions to make other people aware, but I also, like, I don't have any interest in trying to have any more conversations with a lot of them. Like, a lot of them I've given hours and hours to, and they don't want resolution. That's clear. So I just try to make other people aware of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
5% of something and start claiming it. Yeah, right. The people that are out here, they discover they have 5% or 2% or 3% of something, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm Afro-Indigenous, I'm this and that. If you're white passing and you're, you know, I mean, at least in my opinion, acknowledge the fact that police aren't going to target you as they would a person of color. What I know about police, this is just what I know about them. It's almost like there is the colorism that they target people, like the darker the people are, the more they're targeted, I think.
You're exactly right. I made a comment about that earlier today.
And you know, the sad thing is people don't even realize, like, my perspective is as a white man, of course, as a cisgendered gay white man, like, I'm going to acknowledge what my viewpoint is, but people need to remember, I also grew up in a household where my father was a police officer in a small red town in a blue state. And all those police officers used to come over to our house. So I got to see what not just an officer was like, but pretty much what the entire police force was like, and how they operated and how they had like-minded individuals in there. Thank God my father died a different man than he was growing up, because he was not a good man growing up. And like, he's gone now, and I don't mean, you know, to be talking about the dead, but like, truth is truth, and what's right is right and wrong is wrong. And the one thing I love about him is that he's the person that showed me that old dogs can truly change completely. Like, especially traumatic events can change a person, and sometimes can make them more humble and become a better person, even if they've been the shittiest. So again, that person from that side that claims they're a spicy pansexual, they can, if they wanted to be, they could choose, all of them could choose to become better people and to do something better and be somebody different. Like my dad was abusive too. He was to his kids, not his grandkids. He gradually grew to be a better person and then really made it from a traumatic event. It's sad that traumatic events have to sometimes be what does it, but anybody can be a better person if they want to be. And these fools out there need to stop trying to bring other people down to your level. Maybe try to actually use the goodness for something good and elevate yourselves instead of trying to bring people down to your levels. For anybody that's screen recording.
You're talking about your father being abusive. Coming from our era, the Gen Xers,
That's what
a lot of our parents were abusive, but that's what they knew.
Yep.
Sad to say, but but when you know better, you do better.
Yeah, and every generation hopefully is going to be better, right? But what I'm seeing with the current younger generation right now is they're being way online anyway, not so much in the real world, and not all of them, because I see it like this young, she was a young, I say young because she was 24, but she was that early transitioning Black trans woman that came into the live with Joe and Granny Coy last night on Instagram, and she was just, God, she was such an incredible, powerful voice at such a young age. Like, I absolutely love that conversation. But we don't often get proper representation like that. The Gen Xers like us, I think we might be a little more understanding than the younger generation, most of them, because there's a lot of people online, and even she said it, Venus, last night, there's a lot of people online that are basically trying to act like they're superior than, they're better than, and they're creating more issues than they are actually helping any. But it's an online thing. It doesn't seem to be like an in-person thing.
Oh, you know what? Like the school pews have risen, and with teenage, unaliving themselves. Because why? Because all this bullying is coming from social media, and it's coming in droves. Like, not, you used to be bullied by people in your school. Now it's not just at your school; it's people online, on Twitter, on TikTok, and it's just. Then they wonder why these kids are going into school snapping. It's no excuse. I promise you, I'm not making an excuse for kids doing that. But I can see them being drove, like, with all this bullying and harassing.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
And people need to just be kinder, better people. That's what the problem is. Everybody's so quick to talk about people, put them down, and make fun of them no matter what. Like, and instead of just like, if you don't like somebody, just keep it moving. You don't have to say anything to them at all. But they choose to be mean. They choose to be hateful. And these parents need to teach these kids to leave people alone.
I'm trying to read. I don't have my glasses on, but I'm trying to read Path's. She said, "Yeah, see, when you say that, I think of YSB and all those people who sent their mail addresses." Oh, you're talking about like when I bought the T-shirt from Uni. Yeah, that's where I was going with that earlier, is that he used that information from the shipping label and he doxed me with it. He basically, Uni, the gay anti-racist, he used information when I got the wrong T-shirt. And I sent him a copy of the shipping label. He basically turned around and reverse searched me and then doxed me with that information. And then he claimed he totally gaslit me. That's because of YT kids through. But that's true. Most of them are YT kids or YT adults. You're right.
They can't handle it.
They can't handle the stress or something. I don't know.
She's Gen Z. She's went to start college early. She was on the View, She's going to be a
Oh,
civil rights
Jonesy, you were on The
attorney.
View? So you know what?
Yes.
I used to like The View until I saw them dogging Bernie Sanders. They used to support him, and then they flipped and they dogged him, and I was like, I stopped liking The View at that point because I'm just, I love Bernie Sanders, I love AOC, I love Nina Turner, I love I love very few politicians, but the ones I love them for reasons of their moral compass. So it upset me that The View turned on him. Is Gen Z, I don't know if Gen Z has enough to come up. Yeah, you got enough.
She's
Gen Z, you're
very
welcome to come up if you
intelligent.
want.
Oh my God. She is so knowledgeable for such a young age.
Do you want to come up? Because I love having conversations with young, intelligent people. I learn a lot. I'm one of those people, like, I will never act like I'm better than you because I'm older than you, because I learn from, I know I can learn from anyone and anything. Like, I've learned life lessons from dogs. So it's a true story. So I know I can learn it from younger people and older people and anyone in between. Seriously, my old dog that lived to be 17 taught me so many more life lessons than a lot of people have. Yeah, I would love, oh, I don't know if they're in here anymore. Who's Princess Live 2171?
I don't know. I know a lot of these people.
You click invites.
Now Blaze, on the other hand, oh, he knows them. He knows so many of them.
He's got a good memory. I was very leery of him for the longest time because they put it into my head that, I mean, this is what they do. They spread stories about people. They'll sit there and say, oh, they're known this, they're known to be that. And then they get other people to share their stories or sit there in the background and go, yep, that's what they are. Yep. And then people just start believing it blindly. And it's like that old telephone game. You know, the more people spread the rumor, the more it gets believed, even if there's no evidence or no proof.
Yeah, like they were like saying what happened during my court case, and they went by what he said, and they didn't want to believe anything that my attorney said. Well, if he wasn't at the court, they said he wasn't inside the courtroom, how could they debunk what my attorney said, who was actually in the courtroom?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But that's how they are. Like you just said, they can see the truth right in front of them, but if it's somebody they like, they're going to make excuses for them.
Who's Nick Spider? Does anybody know?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
I'm just curious because they've been in here for a while. They got a lot of followers, but they haven't said anything. I'm just wondering.
Oh, we were just talking in general about, my court case Friday.
It was this past Friday, bud?
Mm-hmm.
And it was dismissed?
Yep, but he said he refiled the paperwork, so we'll see.
Man.
That guy is an idiot.
Do I know who it is, or do you know if I know who it is?
I don't know if you know who this person is. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I haven't heard you mention him.
You might have heard about him, but
Is he on that side?
yeah, pretty much.
Then I probably know at least of them. I know of most of them. But yeah, it was I don't know if I could go back and like redo things. Like I said, I remember that point. This is the weird part, is I really remember that point sitting on my couch before my account really blew up and thinking to myself about the video that I was about to make. And I was like, do I really want to do this? This could make my account blow up. And I remember telling myself, like, nah, that's not going to happen to me. How naive I was. Like I really realized, 2.5 years later, like anybody can go viral on TikTok, anybody. And they probably give everybody a chance to, at least one, I think we're all their little guinea pigs. Because look at how many of us have gotten to the point where we felt like taking ourselves out of here. And I mean, more than the out, and they profit off of this. The drama sells. They literally get a lot of clicks and views off pushing people to that point. How many times do we see them leaving a content that's really detrimental to one person and is clear violations of CGVs, like very clear, but they leave it up, and they'll leave it up for a whole group of people to attack one person, but you try and defend yourself and you're not even breaking any CGVs, and yet your video will get taken down. We've all experienced that, I'm sure.
Exactly.
You guys know? Yeah?
Yes.
No, that's true. I mean, they like a person used my mugshot as their profile picture, and they were allowed to do that. Like, it's not even them.
Yeah, and you can report it as being your photo or violation.
They said no violation.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen people's full addresses be doxxed, and there's no violation, and you make a response video about your address being doxxed, and your videos will get taken down. You're not even allowed to defend yourself in some instances. And like I said, I kind of feel like between that account that got taken down yesterday and the less than 2-minute response from TikTok, as well as just a combination of a chain of events since then, like this account suddenly magically after months coming off the account warning, I just think like TikTok's playing a role in this, in my opinion. I don't think this is just random. I didn't even have that many CGVs on that account, and it's just kind of weird how my live was reported, the timing of it, while other people were having lives about me. They are clearly breaking CGVs, and yet my whole account gets taken down. It's just weird. I was specifically talking also about the issues of TikTok, and they don't seem to like that. I remember that happening 2 years ago when we tried to do the May 29th day. We'd get a lot of CGVs when you try to hold TikTok accountable. Anybody tried to ever call out TikTok and like, for their actions and you get an easy CGV?
No.
I don't think I ever called TikTok out.
I used to call them out a lot, especially with Landini in the beginning. And I haven't seen him call them out since 2 years ago. But in the beginning, when he was growing his account, he would call them out all the time. I think he did recently for that one guy that was exposing himself and got their account taken back because he was kind of like, hey, TikTok, what's up? This account got taken down, and you literally reinstated it after he exposed himself to children, and that's why his account was taken down. They're aware of it. TikTok is aware of it, and they're still allowing the account to stay up. It's really weird. Like, you can't tell me that they're not aware. That they've definitely got people moderating. We've already read articles. There's newspaper articles showing that they have real humans that are pushing forward the algorithms. It's not just all random.
Oh, we've seen the moderators. They'll come in and says TikTok moderator.
Really?
They'll come into lives, yeah. And they'll just sit there. They don't say anything. They just come in and sit down. But it actually says TikTok moderator.
Yeah,
Really?
keep an eye on that. It will say notification or something. Like their name will be notification, and it will have like the little bell as their picture, and it will say your live will end in blah 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 if you don't shut your live down or something. It's really just a person acting like their TikTok. So keep an eye on that. It's been happening to a lot of people.
Really? So they'll come in and they'll give some kind of a notice like, you have to shut your live down or else?
Yeah, and it looks like it's real too because the name is notifications, and like the picture, the little icon will be like the notification picture, and it looks like it's a real TikTok like warning, but it's really not. It's only just a person who made those profiles, and it's been happening to random people in random lives. Like they'll say, "Oh, you better shut down your live, or your account will be permanently banned," or whatever they'll say. And if you click on their actual page, it's just like a random person.
So it's just people faking.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
But they
That's
do
so
have
weird.
TikTok moderators.
Yeah, they do.
don't say anything. They come into your live, the
Yeah.
actual TikTok moderators.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, I don't know. We all know that this is a China-based app, and we all sit here, and also myself included, I'm guilty as well. Like, we allow them to change our language. We allow them to take our First Amendment right away to the point where we can't even talk about important issues and use normal everyday words because they're controlling our language. And a lot of us don't even think about it or question it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm thinking about it because, like, I'll be out in public and, like, I'll use TikTok terms like unalive. I'm like, what's unalive?
Right? Like, can you imagine? This is not. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I mean, can you imagine a police officer taking a statement from somebody and hearing terms like unalive, grape, just like things that we should be able to say. YT, right? Like, can you describe the person? Oh, they were YT. What? The police officer may not even get it. But yeah, I've heard people use the terms off the app too, and I'm like, okay, I've even done it. We're conditioned, and I think it's scary because if they have that much impact on us and we're voluntarily doing this, think about the amount of impact they could have on influences just by subliminal things for our elections and whatnot. They could be causing issues and divide where there really shouldn't be. That's another reason why I keep speaking up about this. Like, it's, to me, I don't mean this disrespectful to the people that say they don't want to be called cis. To me, it's like a made up issue that shouldn't even really exist, because when you break down the word and the meaning and really look at like what is a slur, what is, words that are offensive and all that kind of stuff. Like, I do feel like it's almost like this thing that TikTok has pushed forward to actually cause a divide between, mostly, in my opinion, it's mostly trans people, which have been the ones in our community that have been under attack the most. Like, as a gay man, I definitely can acknowledge that out of the alphabets, the letters in the alphabet, that T is the one that is targeted the most. So I just think like TikTok pushes forward issues sometimes and creates issues. And when I'm watching it, I'm like, man, we got an election coming up, and there's some scary people out there, like that one from Florida, DeSantis.
Yep, I agree.
As much as I don't like talking about politics on my lives, like that one scares me more than the orange one.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Oh, definitely.
He's got a lot of hate in his heart.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
And the people give him the power so he can use it.
Yeah.
He's 40.
So what does that tell you about us as a society?
It scares me. I used to
Because
live.
but when we go to them polls, that's why I'm very leery of allies, because they'll say, "Oh, I'm an ally. I'm not for this," but then they'll go to the polls and vote in their best interest, which they think is their best interest, and then everybody gets screwed.
Somebody just said he's only 44. Wow. He's pretty hateful for being 44. And yeah, I agree with you. I think, I hope more people will get involved in actual like political movements instead of just online. 2016, 2020, like, I was doing telephone banking and actual door-to-door campaigning for Bernie, and I feel like it did make a difference. And I feel like the cool thing about him was that man broke his own record from 2016 and 2020 by having the most independent contributors, and volunteers than any other presidential candidate ever. And I feel like if we can just somehow find a way to push forward those candidates, especially on our side in the left or the progressive, Democrat, whatever you are, like if we could push forward those candidates that are supported the most by people, instead of just this vote blue no matter who mentality, if we could somehow try to make the party work for us, and instead of letting the party make us do what they want, I think we would have much more power as a people to be able to have better choices, if that makes sense. Because I kind of feel like we have been force fed the choice for us in 2020 and 2016. I also had a lot of people try to accuse me of like, oh, you just don't want a woman to be president. I'm like, that is not it at all. I mean, I would listen, if I had a choice for 2024, my choice would be Nina Turner. If you don't know who she is, look her up. I met her. She's amazing. I would love to see her as our next president over Biden any day. Like that, to me, that is a strong Black woman. I remember why Kamala Harris dropped out of I remember why she dropped out, and I remember Tulsi Gabbard calling her out and what she did, and she was very harmful to a lot of people from the Black community, unfortunately, and to holding prisoners past their date that they should have been released just to put out fires essentially for California. It was wrong, and I don't know. That's where, like, for me, I'm not one of these people that, like, I can so easily just feel like I fall in line. I'm like, no, morals, like the moral compass always matters at the end of the day for me. And I know there's a lot of people that push narratives about me that, people wouldn't think that, but that's the truth about me. And that's who I am. Like, politics or not, like, I can't just vote blue no matter who. I'm like, that person has to be a good choice, a good person. I'm not gonna not ever vote for the evil, though. like I won't ever vote for the evil.
Get rid of parties and just people around you vote for whoever meets your morals and values, because there's too many people that no matter how bad a person is, because I was born a Democrat and I'll DIE a Democrat, I was born a Republican and I'll never vote anything but Republican. Instead of voting for the people that's going to make our country better.
We totally need. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, definitely, 100%.
I completely agree. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
Yeah, I think we need to get rid of the two-party process. I think we need to get rid of. I think we need to get rid of the electoral process, the electoral college process. We definitely need a better choice for the democratic process too, because a lot of people don't even realize that the way we choose our candidate in the Democratic side is much different than the way that they choose their candidates in the Republican side for the before we get to the general. And the way that we pick the candidate for the Democratic side is very much like the electoral process. I tell people all the time, like, I didn't know this until like 2015-ish, but if we had, so let's go back to 2016. If we had both parties, if they picked the same, their candidates the same way, the choices probably wouldn't have been Trump versus Hillary. It would have either been, if we had the process similar for both parties as it is for the Republican side, it would have been Trump versus Bernie. If we had it mimic the way that the Democrats do it, it would have been Hillary versus probably somebody like Bush or Cruz. Because remember, they didn't like Trump. They didn't want him originally. Trump was picked by the people. if the Democratic side truly allowed to pick the person that was represented by the most people, independent people, it would have been Bernie. But I mean, that came out. That's the funny part, is that actually is what came out in the emails when they were hoping for the smoking gun of emails from Benghazi. There was nothing on that, but the emails did reveal that they were very corrupt in how they picked their candidate. Sorry, this is why I don't talk about politics, because I can go down a rabbit hole. Plus, a lot of people don't agree with my opinions. All right, both of y'all are very quiet. Sorry, I'm really bad at paying attention to the comments too.
My internet is unstable, so it keeps going in and out. That Xfinity.
Oh yeah, they're coming out with a 10K. Yeah, I can't believe that he's only 44. And somebody said he wears shoe lifts too. DeSantis.
I could believe that.
I wouldn't doubt it. Who remembers Mark Rubio?
I know people.
He,
Yeah, they got that little short man mentality.
right? It's just weird how all these guys in Florida are like the stuff from Florida really, and no offense to anybody who's from Florida or Texas, but the politicians that come out of Florida and Texas really seem to be garbage. I'm just saying.
They are. No, I think the people are, because the people keep putting them back in office. I'm like, why do y'all keep putting these people back in office? Like Mitch McConnell, why is he still in office?
God, I still can't even believe he's alive. Like, that man looks like he died 20 years ago. Yeah, dude, like, so I'm sorry, I sent a
No, that's
few-
they should have term limits for president.
What's that?
I said they should have term limits just like the president.
Absolutely.
Congressman.
Absolutely. See, these are the things that we need to change. We need to change the thought process of people too, though, because even when Australia got rid of their two-party system, people are still voting like they have a two-party system, even though they broke it. So, like, we have that issue in America too, or in the United States, because how many times have we had third-party choices and people are like, don't waste your vote, it'll never happen. Well, why do we say that? We need to think like that movie Ants. Like, we are more powerful than the system if we all work together. Absolutely.
Did you see that one man running for president?
Which
Can you
one?
hear me?
Yeah, which one?
Oh, he was saying that he wants to be the first and last president. So he's trying to change how presidents are elected, like, for lifetime president.
Why? That's what we broke free from.
You know how many people said they would vote for him? That was a crazy thing.
People said they would?
Yes,
Like, what's his...
a lot.
What party was he with, or what kind of ideology did he have? I'm imagining he had a very controlling...
I didn't even take it. I was looking at the comments. I was like, who would vote for him? And I thought people would be in the comments say, oh, ain't no way I'll vote. No.
I would never vote for that.
Yeah.
No.
If I find it again, I'll send it to you.
So somebody I know has been trying to introduce me to this this thing. Has anybody heard of the Creative Society? Anybody in the comments or in the box?
Mm-mm.
So it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like this worldwide creative society where basically there wouldn't be borders. People would be essentially they would be essentially monitoring themselves with the use of AI. I'm again, keep in mind, I'm 54.
That's creepy.
I grew up on Terminator movies, so I'm very leery. I'm like, this sounds like Terminator to me. You know, like I've seen this in too many movies. I'm not sure I'm too cool with this, but we're kind of heading towards that point, aren't we? I mean,
Yeah, we are. AI, a lot of people don't realize how
We done
dangerous
passed
AI
that.
is.
what was that, Melissa?
I was saying, a lot of people don't realize how dangerous AI is. Like we don't really have, just think about like how we're slowly going into that right now as we speak with AI, like with, copying people's voices and whatnot and being able to use their voices, and like people are creating robots and stuff. But if you think about it, what if these said robots or whatever, like what happens if we're unable to control them or whatnot? Like it could get really dangerous.
That part. Were you saying something too, Butters? I don't know why I'm calling you Butters. I'm sorry, Butter.
Yeah, I was saying, we're already living in the age of we're living in the age of the Jetsons now.
Oh my God, they're talking
Remember
about
that cartoon?
Yeah. They're talking about having flying taxis soon. Like drones.
But we got self-driving cars, video, telephone. Like how they talked on the video. Now we're doing it on the phones, computers,
Yep.
robots. I was at the bowling alley the other day. There's a robot that served us our food.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I've seen them in the grocery stores, and it creeps me out.
Yeah, it definitely creeps me out too.
Well, there's a guy on YouTube. He goes by Feud Junkie. He has really good content. If you guys aren't following him, I would strongly suggest it. It's Feud, like FUED, and then Junkie. He posted a video recently showing how there's literally programs out there, and he did it, and he showed it, where he basically made Dinesh appear to be talking very kindly about him when Dinesh evidently hates this guy, because he's called out Dinesh for a lot of the horrible things that he's done, and he's done it in a very, very diplomatic way, in a very just straightforward way. He's really good at his presentations too, in my opinion, but he literally showed this software that can take a recording of somebody for a short period of time, and then you can essentially, once you have their voice, you can essentially type in and make them say whatever you want them to say. So that technology is already here. And the technology is already here where you can make it seem like people are saying things or singing or dancing or doing other things that they're not really doing. So we are actually in it's not a matter of when, we're there. We're in the age of deep fakes. We're in the age of, we don't even know, our president could be gone already, DEAD, and we're just watching visual images and nobody could know the better. You know what I mean? Like we could actually be at that point, and I bet you 99.9% of people wouldn't even know.
They actually say that right now, that our president isn't real, like that he's actually DEAD, and that it's just like a clone or something, if you want to say it that way.
I've heard that, and I've actually seen the video arguments, and I'm agnostic, and I think anything is possible. I'll just say that. That's my theory.
I agree too.
They want to replace nurses with AI? What? They want to replace nurses with AI.
I had my hernia surgery done with a robot.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. At the
By a
VA.
robot. By a robot.
Yep.
Oh my God, were you nervous?
I was knocked out.
You're like, I was knocked out.
Oh my God, I can't believe that.
But Y'all talking about Biden. I can guarantee you Biden is still alive because he was on TV and he had passed gas while he was shaking somebody's hand.
They might
That
be
was
messing
real.
with us. They might be messing with us. They're like, uh-oh, people are starting to catch on. They're starting to think he's fake. Make him fart. That'll make him believe it. Like, I could see them trolling us like that, too.
Yeah. A lot of those conspiracies, like, they make you really think, though. Like, you never know, you know?
Listen, I love a good conspiracy theory. And if you think about it, how many 50 plus years did they tell us that aliens and UFOs were all a conspiracy theory? And then when the Freedom of Information Act was like, oh, you have to give up this information, all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, aliens and UFOs have been real. And sorry, we've had to keep this from you. But here you go. And everybody's just like, oh, okay, yeah, we kind of knew that already anyway. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literal footage out there now available to the public of Air Force videotaping UFOs. It's not even a theory anymore. There's like video evidence, and people are just like, oh, whatever. Have you guys seen that stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
So that's an interesting. I mean, that's
scary.
What would I mean? Okay, we got to realize like the universe is huge, right? And as old as our planet is, it's really only like 1/3 of the age of the entire universe. We're just a blink in time. It's realistic to think that there could be other intelligent life form out there that's farther advanced than us, that may have technology that can travel faster than the speed of light, or through wormholes, or time loops, or whatever. It is a possibility, in my opinion. Like, what's majority? They say over 50% of people believe that there's other life forms and that UFOs and aliens are real. I guess let's start out with, where do you guys fall? Do you feel comfortable saying? Because I believe it.
I believe it.
I believe it, too.
I wonder, like, how do you do those polls in the comments? I want to do a poll. Like, do you believe in, let's see, how do you do that? Do you believe in UFOs? Is there a way to do that? I think there's interactions there. Nope. Here we go. Interaction. I'm going to do a quick poll. Let's see. Standard. I don't know how to do this. Have you guys ever done this? Clearly state your question and the default. Okay. I think I did it. So let's just go with the...
It should pop up once you do it. Oh, yeah, there you go. You gotta press the smiley face or the sad face to vote.
Oh, I'm getting a warning that my live is going to end.
Really?
Yeah, I just got some kind of notice. It said that I had to refresh it. That's weird.
Yeah, that's strange. Hey! Sorry, my cats are hissing at each other.
And I have default like red or blue. I don't even think I know what they did. So yeah, I clearly don't know what I'm doing with these polls. So I guess click the blue if you believe in UFOs, and the red if you don't. Oh, or move around? Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, maybe you have to, like, change your picture or something, or, like, show some movement for it to, like, kind of refresh.
Hopefully, I was moving earlier. I didn't realize it. Hopefully, I wasn't.
Yeah, I think you should be fine. I don't know why they do that.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. If it gets kicked, it gets kicked. I clicked the refresh. So wait, is this says something about a live cup? Did I do something? Like, see, this is where I feel stupid because the old way. Oh, here we go. Here's the poll. The old way of going live on TikTok is so much different than the new way. Like, until about a month ago or so, maybe not even, I hadn't been live on TikTok in like over a year and a half. So it's completely different now than it used to be. This whole like multi-party thing, that's a whole new thing. I think you used to only be able to do like one person at a time. You guys, anybody here have a dog? Like, I love my
I had
dog.
dogs. I don't have dogs. I wish I had a dog, but I used to have German Shepherds.
I love my dog, and she's a little dog, but man, when she gets gas, it is the worst. It is the worst. That's the one thing I don't. All right, there we go. Let's see. Simple yes or no. Both of that work.
Yeah, it makes you like it always makes you wonder. Like before, when everyone was like the government would say, you know, UFOs and aliens are fake and whatnot, but then obviously they're coming out with them saying, yeah, they're real, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, I know. Like, I don't know how you feel about conspiracy theories and whatnot, but have you heard of like Project Bluebeam and all that stuff? Like all those like conspiracies of like the government and they're supposed to quote unquote like come out with a UFO or should I say an alien invasion, but they're going to be using like holograms and whatnot to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're supposedly supposed to do that. I don't know when, but it's supposed to like kind of like scare the people and say that the aliens are going to be invading, but they're going to be using holograms to make it look like that they're actually here or whatnot.
I've not heard of that. If you guys hear, they're shooting off fireworks in my neighborhood because, it's only a week after 4th of July, or a week and a half. Whatever.
Oh, of course.
I don't even know. It's like what? It's like a week after. But yeah, they're still shooting off fireworks in the neighborhood. Yeah, I love a good conspiracy theory. I think one of the best ones that I loved, which I don't even think it's really a conspiracy theory. There's actually an antenna farm up in Alaska, but HARP. In fact, I think they pretty much admit to what they're doing now.
Oh yes, HARP. Yep.
Yeah. In fact, you know how what do they call them? Chemtrails. Chemtrails are not real, right? Chemtrails are a conspiracy theory. They're not real, but the government admits to cloud seeding now. So
yeah.
So I'm sorry. What?
Oh no, I was agreeing with you.
I know. I'm kind of being sarcastic. I'm sorry. What? Like. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
I know.
It's literally the same thing. I'm like, what do you mean?
Cloud seeding, I know. But yeah, with HARP because they control the weather. And,
yeah, well, they're doing that with cloud seeding too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think HARP just intensifies it when they want to, or helps control it. So it's using the radio frequency waves essentially to control the weather, and the cloud seeding essentially does the same thing. So, Butters, you're around my age, Melissa. I don't know how old you are. You don't have to say, but like we're Gen Xers, and I don't remember. I remember as a kid looking up at the clouds and trying to make shapes out of them and determining what they were. I don't remember this tic-tac-toe patterns that later turned into a hazy day and was like clouds everywhere. I don't remember that. It is much different.
I remember doing that too. I'm 38. I don't mind saying I'm 39. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I remember doing that when I was little. Like you would like stare into the sky and like try to like see like what kind of design you seen or like whatever shape it was or whatnot. But like now you just look at you see like lines of cloudiness going across in different directions and crossing and X's and whatnot.
Yeah, it's almost like tic-tac-toe. And if you pay attention throughout the days, like now if people in the comment section, if if they haven't paid attention, if people aren't here, if you haven't paid attention to it in the past, just start paying attention over the next few days. Like, just look up in the morning and look at the patterns, and then look at how throughout the day, watch, like when you start seeing the lines, watch how they dissipate out and actually create clouds, and then watch how the tic-tac-toe patterns will eventually just create this haze. Essentially, is it doing its purpose in helping protect us from harmful US or UV light or UV rays that have increased with global warming? Probably, yeah, but it's also like a chemical. Supposedly it's not harmful to humans, supposedly. Who knows? Supposedly COVID wasn't good. I mean,
Until 10 years from now, like if you were exposed to those UV rays, you could be part of this lawsuit.
right? I know. It's this metal, I think it's like silver dioxide. Do you know what it is? Melissa? You seem
I
to know
forgot
about it.
the name of it, but I did hear about. Oh God, I forgot. I'm gonna have to think about that. I do remember the name. Well, I don't remember it now, but I do remember of the specific name for it. Oh crap!
The poll ended. Everybody, how it was 100% people believe in UFOs. Or does it say start? Did I ever do it?
Yeah, it popped up on the bottom.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Oh yeah, there. I'll just pop it back up again. Oh wow, are people putting their ages in that? We're all about the same age then. Cuban D lawyer shared the live. What?
Yeah, I seen that. I'm like,
Cuban D lawyer, really? Isn't that weird?
yeah, like, why are you in here? And why are you sharing the live?
Yeah, exactly. We're not even talking about her. Tell me you're obsessed without telling me you're obsessed. But gas. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's block the bitch.
She's still in here?
Well, not now. I just blocked her.
Oh, okay, good.
I really like this live isn't even about her. I don't know what her issue is.
Yeah, like, why are you coming in here to share a live that has this? We're talking about the government and UFOs and stuff, but you had the nerve to come in here to share the live for what?
They need content. They need a rage farm so they could do their next Go Fraud Me.
Oh yeah, watch how the narrative's gonna change. So now that the live is shared, it's gonna be like, they were talking about us.
I was in the box too, so you know they come after me too.
Yeah, I know they do. I don't know why.
They will make an issue just out of who goes live with who. Like they are so in everybody else's business and they don't admit to what they do. It's just, you know what? It's not even about them right now. I don't even care. Like, you know, I'm going to end the live though, because they will try to mass report it and get it taken down just for no
Yeah,
reason.
that's fine. That's fine. It's late anyway. Make sure everyone gets some rest.
Yeah, we've had a good talk. I've really enjoyed talking with you guys. And hey, you know what? If they need other people to make their content, then that kind of shows how weak they are, in my opinion.
Yes, definitely.
Because I would love to just get back to focusing. I told them too. I'm like, hey, if they really want me off the app so bad, they've seen me like 100 times. Like, no matter what they do to me, they keep coming back, and it pisses them off, obviously, right? But I keep coming back, and they're like, they already learned like the mob mentality isn't going to work. Spreading lies about me, deep fakes, whatever the fuck you want to do, dox me, harass me. Like, what kind of therapist that's in her 50s acts that way and behaves that way and spreads stigmas and harmful things to other communities? Like, that's not a.
What are these people talking about in the comments? Like, who are you? Like, what? What is going on? Who is Tommy Olive?
Me, myself, and I don't even know who this person is. They have 1 follower and 9 followers. What are they talking about?
They're trolls. Just get rid of them.
It looks like they're trolling you.
That's right. I blocked them. That's because Cuban shared the live. So this is going to be my proof. I'm taking these screenshots, because this is going to be my proof that Cuban sent people over here to harass me. So this is actually proof.
Tommy, you don't need to be ignorant with your comments. Like, please don't be disrespectful.
So check this out. They are trying to get my page banned, yeah. They're also trying to get to me because James was my friend who was taken out of this world by police. And they like to use him as a weapon because they really don't care about police brutality or victims from the gay community. They don't care about the gay community. And when they're bringing up things that are talking points from the police, they are actually using WS tactics to harm the gay community. So they're coming over here and they're spreading false information and they're spreading the narrative from the police because they probably don't have any personal experience with a victim of police brutality. Now, this is the sad thing, is that many of my friends that are people of color do have some kind of personal experience with somebody who is taken out of this world by police or at least by the M word, M as in mur, you know. And that's,
No, he wasn't T. Taylor.
what was that? Or are they still going?
Oh,
My
yeah.
thing is, we were like
No,
sitting here
so-
minding our own business.
So
Then
no.
somebody comes in your live, shares it to a whole bunch of
Yeah.
trolls.
Yep,
For
but
what?
I'm screenshotting. I think
what?
somebody's recording this.
This one pisses me off. But then they'll say, "But I don't know what's wrong.
Listen.
We didn't do anything."
Listen, if they want to ask questions, I'll answer questions for them. James was born here. Can you do math? James was born in June. It's no secret. June 27th, 1974. Okay. I was born February 2nd, 1969. That's no secret. They put out all my information, so I don't give a fuck. So you can do math, right? Now, it's also public record that I didn't move to Florida until the day after November or Thanksgiving in late November 1992. I'm just going to mute you, Melissa, for now. Sorry. But it's 1992.
That's fine.
Okay, so that's when I moved to Florida, and I didn't meet James until about a year and a half after that, the summer of 1994. Can you do math? What's 1994 subtracting 1974? Can you do math? But you know what? Do you see my screenshot about sheep and believing people blindly? That's what you're doing. You're believing people blindly, and you're using talking points from police. You're lying, and Melissa, you might want to do some research on the company you keep. Okay, so do you have enough? You're believing somebody blindly. You have 12 followers, and we're supposed to believe you. The family wanted you to stop talking about him. Yep, so we can talk about that. The family took a cash settlement. A lot of people, unfortunately, that have gay children, gay brothers, don't always agree fully with their lifestyle. And sometimes they get embarrassed. Now, you're not supposed to be stalking me, Cuban. You should know better. Rabbi, you guys aren't supposed to be stalking me. Weirdos. And did you see the proof of you? I never impersonated. See, this is how they twist stories. Impersonating a police officer. Saying that you have ties or something, I think they showed. They love to make accusations and twist words. So they're trying to get under my skin, and this is all proof that Cuban Delight, because we know a lawyer would not actually send people to go harass somebody in their live, right? We know a real lawyer wouldn't actually do that. But when they say they don't care, and they really do, this is what they're doing. This is what they do. They obviously don't like the truth told about them, and they come over when things aren't even about them and make it about them for content. The family did love him with your 4 followers. Ava Lynn, you're right. The family did love James. And you know what? Anybody can actually see that the family also said, see the videos of him being a bitch. Who was being a bitch? Wait, D. White, what are you saying? How dare you? We're talking about Cuban and Tavia earlier. I wasn't talking about Cuba and Tavia. I was talking about what Cuban and Tavia did, how Tavia called me the whole F slur, and how Cuban, I mean, listen, if Cuban wants to lie, if Tavia wants to lie, if they want to hate on people, they can hate on people. I don't know what kind of therapist sends a bunch of people over to somebody's live to harass them. I mean, it sounds like you're getting your feelings hurt. You're a little bit too much emotionalism there, you know? For somebody who says they need to leave their emotionalisms out of it, as you quote your word, emotionalism, maybe you shouldn't be so emotionalism. Like, I'm sorry if your feelings get hurt by people telling the truth on you while you want to lie about them. That's like a personal issue. I wish you love, and I wish you to go away. A therapist with no customers, that part. Like, it is very weird that you come over here on troll pages and just send people to harass me. That is very childish of a therapist who's supposed to be in her 50s because she emotionally can't handle people telling the truth about her. I mean, we used to be friends, Denise. At least I used to consider you a friend until I found out that you just used people and used me, and that you're pretending a lot of things and not being sincere, genuine, or real, and that you rage farm with other people that are your friends to basically create fraudulent GoFundMes and profit off of people. See, I don't use the app to try and make money. I'm just using the app to try and get justice and get an officer arrested who actually committed a unaliving of another person from the gay community. But, you know, since I have audio of her saying how she doesn't fuck with the community, proving that all her activism for the LGBTQI plus community is fake, I guess that would probably upset her and make her want to get a bunch of people to report me and spread lies about me. When I'm posting proof of truth because you want to lie on me and you want to go in lives with Kane Allen and insert yourself into things about me, and I defend myself, and I know that upsets you because, God forbid, a gay man stand up to somebody who's blackfishing and blackfacing across the internet. I mean, now if TikTok takes down this live, that's just going to be more proof that they have people on the inside of TikTok and that TikTok doesn't like gay people. Because I'm not doing anything wrong, am I? I'm speaking the truth. The newspaper articles that I shared myself show the very same things that they are posting, but they are trying to insert me into another person's shoes, the person that James dated after me. James was my friend who was unalived by police. We were together for about 5.5 years. I rounded it up to 6, and they want to hold that and do their fucked up math because they think they know everything. But we were together about 5.5 years, and we were best friends after we broke up. We had a lot of mutual friends. In fact, we stayed living together after we broke up with his dad, who was going through cancer treatments. We had a 3-bedroom place. And so even after we broke up, we each had our own bedroom. And we stayed living together for a while until that lease was up. But there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know and they want to assume. I used to go visit James and the partner that he had and that he was with for many years after he and I broke up. I used to go visit them both with the same time that James's mom would too. We were all friends. They try to lie and say that James had a